Test, test. Aha! Okay, look, it's good.
Caw, caw.
Yep, the levels are good. The levels are good. Okay.
Okay.
I am recording. My audio is recording. Jeez. So yeah, this is the worst films of 2021. Because of the audio issue last time, I forgot to explain how I, say what's best and worst. So pretty much, I have a letterbox account. I score everything, obviously, half a star to 5 stars. Anything 4 star and above is on the best list. Anything 2 star, yeah, anything 2 star and below is on the worst list. And then I'll have like I had an and I'll have an honorable mention if something is like kind of in the middle, but I do want to talk about it. All right, so I have one. Okay, just like before, I have 4 different categories. Then the honorable mention. The first category is Christmas rom-com. Now, obviously, for December, I watched Christmas rom-coms, and I also make sure that they were put out this year. Um, yes. So the 3 movies, which were the 3 movies I watched, besides the Christmas Twister one that was put out like ages ago, which is Christmas Dance, Most Wanted Santa, and A Chance at Christmas. You were with me with the live stream for the Christmas Dance because that was the religious one. That's the first one
Mhm.
we're gonna talk about. That one
Yeah.
I gave half a star because it's literally the trifecta of things I don't like. It's a rom com, it's a Christmas movie, and it's religious. Since you also sat through it with me, wasn't that the worst thing you watched all year? Like,
It was really uncomfortable because in some points they're trying to give like a moral that they were definitely giving religious overtones to, but could have been a little. If it was a better movie, it could have been like, "Hey, these are just morals for everyone."
right,
Like,
right,
don't shit on your neighbors who are poor, like stuff like that.
right, right,
But it also like was not very consistent with the protagonist in any way. Like at first she was just some like woman, career woman living in DC who
I think it was
suddenly
New
had
York
oh,
because there was a shot of Rockefeller Center. That's the only way I realized it was New York. Is that and anyway, she lived in the big city. Yeah,
she lived
sorry.
in the big city and then she had like obviously that magazine is going to go down because unless they're selling to ultra conservative like Christians, Family Values magazine is not going to have a very wide market compared to what they had before, which I think was fashion. Who the fuck lost that bet? Who got like caught like diddling the intern and then it's just like, yo, we have to change this now.
It goes from like Vanity Fair to like freaking Highlights magazine like real quick. Like how the fuck did it go there? Okay, shit.
Like who died? Who died?
For
Who
real.
sold this off? Anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was it didn't make sense. So at first she seemed like a relatable character to us
Right.
because we're from the big city. We are independent. We have like goals and stuff. And then she's just like goes back home to her family for a long time because her brother gets into a car crash and everyone's weirdly a dick to her for going back to seeing her brother, even though the magazine is family values, which is the thing she should be learning because that's the moral of this. So wouldn't
Right.
the
Yeah.
magazine be more focused on high fashion? So wouldn't that be the thing that'd be more like time related?
This is the
Because it's
this is the Pepe Sylvia trying to connect all the fucking dots with this fucking movie. Yeah. Seriously.
it it was like, okay, so this magazine is now family oriented, but they're really pissed that your brother got into a bad car accident, so they're going to get mad at you for that. Where that would make way more sense in a fashion magazine if they're just like, yo, fashion week is tomorrow.
Right.
The trends go out tomorrow. Why haven't you written this yesterday? Like those sort of things. I could understand that being more of like, you're anti-family values, as opposed to now, where I'm just like, so you're making fun of family values but you're not because that's the moral of the story. But here's
Right.
this terrible, like, head of the magazine who picked this woman, even though she has nothing to do with family values. He just really likes her writing style for fashion. So he wants her to write the big article. which isn't even an article. It's just like a personal account. So is this story just is the magazine just personal accounts? I know that's not even the plot of this movie. I'm stuck on this magazine.
But it's also like, what the fuck is this movie? Because there's that where you're right, because it's like initially, because in the stream I was like, why is everyone throwing all this fucking life lesson shit at the girl? She seems like a decent person, she has a job, she immediately went home when her brother got hurt, so obviously she cares about her family. Even with like a big job, big opportunity shit, she's like, oh my god, my bro, you know. And suddenly it's like the brother being like, patience, patience, like constantly saying that. But then, yeah, you went from being like, yeah, what's wrong with her? There's nothing wrong with her, to, oh god, to her being like, why are we paying that lady's rent? Like, she's taking advantage. Like, oh, you're gonna be that bitch. Okay. And then suddenly it's like, oh, there's that guy that has been friends with my brother all these years, but now, because he used to be fat with glasses, but now he's the most generic white man I've ever seen in my fucking life, you know? And she's like, oh my god, you know, like, ma'am, you know,
Which, if she's also living in New York, there's more than one man there, right?
I, I hope so. How long we've been in New York, it's like, what? You know?
Right. And if she's actually a successful journalist, it's not like journalism is that kind of business where there's only like women or gay men in it.
Right,
If you were going to have like a, although I don't really think like flirting with the person who you work with or is in the same field is very smart.
right.
Um, why him? Why this random guy like hosting the small town like
Oh
I
no.
was gonna say field trip. I meant the dance.
I don't know, because it just didn't make any sense. And then like it like, remember I said I didn't realize there was a religious film until it was like, God, like it was like threw it in, because there's so many of these movies that are again rom-coms, and the dad is like the pastor or whatever. Because remember the Dolly Parton thing? We watched the Dolly Parton thing last year, and like the lead guy with the like the 2 to 3 tone face, you know, he was like the pastor dude. Remember, it was like the you're the baby, I'm the baby. Remember? It was written in the Bible, so you know it's true. And I said, says who? Like I had lost it. I was like, it was written in the Bible, so it has to be true. Like, I just started yelling.
I love the idea that the Bible says your baby, I'm baby, and henceforth we baby. I
Because remember, that's what Trixie and Katya kept saying. They're like, I'm baby.
yes.
No, I'm baby. Like, that's what it came in my head. No, I'm baby. But, like, that had that to it. And it wasn't so, like, Jesus, God in your face kind of stuff. Even though it was kind of religious-y. But, like, remember, like, as someone who went to Catholic school, I was like, oh, that's normal. But then this movie was like, all right, already. This movie was like the fucking 700 Club with that
Well,
shit.
it was odd because usually I kind of associate being incredibly religious, especially in a part of the. Where was this town?
I don't fucking know. Apparently, she was in New York, and she said it like she lost a day driving to get there. So, is this somewhere deep in PA? Is this upstate New York where it's a little bit more conservative? You know what I mean? Like, did you go to like Virginia, West Virginia, maybe Ohio? Like, you know, I'm thinking like straight from New York. You like, you know, but like they don't say. It's just small town. She worked in a big city. Like that. That's what they went with. You know.
So I was just kind of surprised with the fact that it did go so heavy
Oh, excuse me.
into Jesus so quickly, and then suddenly this woman who is in New York and probably has like unless she's not, she's probably a liberal just because if you're in the city, you tend to be a little bit more blue.
Right.
And yet like all of the things that the small town were preaching were more like some of it was like, oh, just be generous, be kind, etc., which is like,
Good.
yeah, don't push grandma down the stairs. That should be in every religious text. Um,
Just open it. Thou shalt not push grandma down the stairs for her to break her hip yet again. Praise be thy Lord, you know.
That's something they didn't teach in Sunday school.
Oh God,
Um,
I went to a different kind of Catholic school then. Yeah, go on.
but it was like it kind of felt like, oh, these are really what I would interpret as very liberal values, as like, oh,
Right,
you need to take care of everyone by like making sure that their bills are paid and all
right.
things like that. Where a lot of
It was charitable, like they cared about each other. I'm like, okay, I don't see anything bad about this, which is why I got really upset when she's like, well, what if people took advantage of like the church money? And I'm like, the lady with 1,000 cats who like knew you since you were a kid? Like, ew, that's so mean, you know?
yeah,
Like,
like it was such a weird character reveal to have her suddenly be like, screw Ethel. She's
yeah,
like she is somehow, even though she's this person that I apparently ran away to when I was a little girl,
right.
she's somehow taking advantage of people, etc., by being poor, which was just such a weird like,
Remember, being poor is a crime. It is.
yeah,
Yeah,
which is like, if you're from this town to begin with, you know that people have financial issues.
right.
I mean, unless she's like fucking making bank in New York and is around like very
Bougie ass motherfuckers.
bougie ass motherfuckers, where would you get the mentality just like, oh, the poor are taking advantage of us? I like, even though that apartment was obviously not New York because it was far too big. Um,
I know. I know. I was like, oh, fuck you staying at. It was like that episode of Jessica Jones where it was like she was screwing like the bartender and he had like this like amazing loft looking ass apartment. I'm like, where? On a bartender? Like, who you unless you're bartending for Diddy personally, like who you fucking bartending? You bartending at a dive bar in fucking hipster ass Brooklyn, you got that place? Shut the fuck up. You know? My
I don't know.
immersion is gone, you know?
Mhm. But it was just like such a weird, like, that was the thing. Like everyone would seem like we're family oriented and then do so many weird things where it wasn't so much like, oh, you're revealing some sort of hypocrisy in these people. It'd just be like, well, that person did a 180.
Right.
So character concepts were completely thrown out the window. And even with the quote unquote antagonist, who was the woman who also wanted to dance to
Yes.
to show off her talents, because that's
That
that's what talented people do when they dance. They perform in children's shows.
no competition, you know? Like you knew you were gonna
Mhm.
win. Yeah, that was like weird. And then the fact that like remember like the everyone just kept like mentioning her body a lot. They're like, oh, you lost weight. Or like, oh, remember you used to eat a lot. And it was like, why does this keep being brought up? And then when anytime they like mentioned the love interest guy, it would be like, remember how thick his glasses were? Remember he used to be a like a chunky boy? I can't believe look at him now. And it's like, oh God, okay, fuck you, first of all. Like, Jesus. So if he didn't lose weight, would you not think he'd be like a go, like, you know, that kind of stuff? And then, like, oh my God, that weird part where, like, it was like, for no reason, only happened that one time where, like, the dude had a voiceover. Where, remember, it was like that dinner, and all of a sudden he just, like, looks at her, and you just hear, like, I always want to. And then I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, I know I was fucking, like, sewing and all that shit and not fully looking at the fucking screen the entire time, but I'm not stupid. You know, I know ADR when I fucking hear it, you know? Like,
Mhm.
and I'm like, why? Why did that? And he's like, oh, apparently he always had a crush on her because that's always the story, too. Like, you know?
I never get that. It's just like, why do you still have the crush on the person and you're in your 30s now and you haven't seen each other since you were children, and obviously one of you left town and the other didn't. There's more than one man in New York. Like, what's going on?
That should be like the New York thing instead of like the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps. There's more than one man here. But it's like then it's like my face like like, what do you like about New York? Oh, the food, blah, blah, blah. There's more than one man here. Like said in such a tone where you can't tell if I'm being sarcastic, upset, serious. Like you can't tell if I'm saying it like oh god, there's more than one man, or be like, ooh, like it's just said in such a tone where it's like, don't know how to interpret, you know. Um. Oh, and then like, what was it? The two different times when the girl like slipped and the love interest guy caught her perfectly in time, and I just like I like, because normally this chair there's like armrests here, and so whenever I get mad I hit the armrest, and
Hmm.
because when I'm in the studio room it's just like a regular chair, so I got so angry I'm like punching my leg. I was like, I need something to hit, and I kept looking around to hit something because I didn't have like armrests here to go like I normally do. And I don't know why. Like I later thought, like, wait, my dress form was there. I could have just punched the dress form. It's nice and soft. But like, I was just so angry. Like literally at that ass crack end of the movie where she's like slipped on the ice and the guy like just catches her. She's like, ah! I was like, by then I was like, like just like I was like Lady D in freaking Resident Evil. I just like the monster just fully came out of me, and I was like, just I was done. I was so done with that. Like, I hate this movie, and that's why I got half a star. Fuck this shit. Like, not to be those dramatic people, to like, if I could give this a one, if I could give this a 0 star, I would give this a 0. I would give this like a negative, like 500 star, because it just
Hmm.
fucking pisses me off. Anyway,
Because I didn't like anyone.
like, no one. Um, there was a dog for like a really quick second, and then the dog wasn't in the movie long enough. So sorry.
Hmm.
The next one is Most Wanted Santa, which was the attractive black guy who dresses up as Santa and steals artwork. Now,
That's really conspicuous.
yeah, now you weren't there for that live stream. I think Taylor was, and we were losing it the entire time. Like, things were ridiculous because the movie seems to like hate women, but like in the sense of like pitting women against women, kind of hate women. So the lead is a woman, obviously, and then the supporting actress is also a woman. But it's like the lead woman is like an FBI agent or some shit, and like her division is like art thievery, and it's like cool because okay, there's like white supremacists out there, FBI, but art thievery, Jesus Christ, it's no book, art thievery. Anyway,
Hmm.
but then she has to work with like the LA cop, and LA cop is the other woman, and they're also both women of color too. So it's like okay, um but there's like this weird like thing between the two of them where like the detective woman is like the perfect woman because she comes in with these outfits and all that stuff, and then she always is like, donuts, I got everybody donuts. And then the detective chick, the regular LA cop detective chick, is like, whatever, like, oh well, I made cookies, and people would be like, oh, a cookie, I don't know, thanks, and it's like, and then it's like she hates her because she's so perfect, and it's like this kind of like thing for no reason. um One thing I commended the movie on was hair and makeup, because even though every woman had the same, like they had the Taylor called it the one curling iron, they all did the same hair wave, but all their
Hmm.
hair was really well done. Even the guys, like the main guy, like they filled in his eyebrows, like his grooming was very on point, and then the
Hmm.
makeup was very good. Like the person understood how like different skin tones were, because the guy in the movie was like medium complexion, like
Hmm.
medium to dark, like not Paul's complexion, definitely like a medium kind of color. Um, the lady was like a lighter kind of tan, and then
Hmm.
the detective woman was just like on a light skin kind of thing.
Hmm.
So they got the hair and makeup. That part was great. Wardrobe was a little like, oh, all right, we're going with
Someone
this.
comes in like a cop uniform, but it's like one you get it during Halloween time, and then it's just
Full.
then a snowman comes in and just announces that's the commissioner.
Oh my god. Yeah, so like that was fine. So the whole thing with the movie excuse me, was that the guy steals the artwork and she's trying to find the guy, but she doesn't know she's trying to find that guy because they meet up and there's like flirting and all that stuff. You know, the obvious
Mhm.
story of like, I'm looking for the criminal. It's the guy I've been flirting with this whole time. Ah, you know, and whatever stuff. Apparently, the end. Not that it went Shyamalan twist, but it definitely dropped something on our laps, and it was like, what? So like, the main character woman, there's one part where she like it's like exposition like stuff, and she's like, I'm adopted. I love my parents, but blah blah blah. My mom was like young when she had me. Da da. It's like okay. I wasn't sure like the where because where they dropped that it's like I don't know if this is just exposition to explain why she's like kind of perfect lady kind of stuff like to explain why she is who she is, or is this like a thing that would be coming back later because it just kind of got dropped on us and we're like okay, apparently it was coming back later. So the sexy Santa guy apparently is also working with the FBI or something. Like he's also in a crime division of art thievery, but somehow they don't know each other in the department. I would think the department's very small, I'm just saying. You know? And for some reason that his gimmick is to dress up like Santa, go to Santa parties and steal artwork. And the reason why he steals the artwork is because a lot of these people come to the artwork illegally. So a lot of it's stolen from either like the artist, a lot of like British museum kind of way. Like that's pretty much what they're trying to say. Very much
Mhm.
like stealing and all that stuff. And he kind of Robin Hoods it. So like in the movie they'll be like clicking around, they'll be like, "Oh, this has been missing from the museum since 2016. It just got returned." No one's going to question how or where
It
they
was
found
hiding
it.
in the closet all this
Right.
time.
Oh, we were at the storage place where the Ark of the Covenant was hidden, and we just opened all the crates and we found it. You know, like bitch. Um. So like that would happen, and then it was like, and then there was like an artist they kept naming in the movie. You know, they're like, oh, it's a Jacobson or whatever the name was. You know, and I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, that person. You know, but it turns out that artist is a woman, and they go to visit her, and it turns out that that woman is that FBI agent's birth mother. What?
I thought you were going to tell me that the main woman and Santa were actually siblings.
I they kind of they skimmed on that because she's like I'm adopted. I don't know blah blah blah. And then she even like mind you she's in the midst of flirting with this guy. She goes, "We could even be related and we don't even know that." And I'm like, "Why are you
Why
saying
would you
that?
say that?
You're in the
Why
midst
would
of
you say
you're
that?
in the midst of flirting and you're all like "Ew," with each other and then you drop that freaking, like, "Ooh, stepbrother, what are you doing?" kind of line, ma'am, you know? Like Jesus Christ. And he's like, God, I hope not. Like he straight up was like, God, I hope not. Not sure if that was part of the line or he just blurred that out because it felt a little too genuine. Um, but anyway, it's like he did all that to like reunite. Like he did all the like he like reunited the woman with the mom, and turns out like her birth mom is like this famous artist that in the area, and it's like, oh my god. And then like the entire time how the movie is that there's obviously a lot of stock footage. So a lot of the stock footage color grade is not the same as the regular footage.
Of
So
course it's not.
of course, because like most stock footage, especially if it's like California related, it's gonna be bright, it's gonna be colorful, because you want it to be like green palm trees, blue skies, blue ocean. So like, and it's like bright colors, sand, da da da, and it'll show that, and then they'll be like inside, and it's like this lighting, and it's like it's lit like this, and it's like okay, you know, um, oh, and then I always joked about oh, I think I said it during the Christmas dance one. I call it the iCarly thing, where it's like they'll look at a phone or they'll look at a computer, but then it'll be like let's say I'm looking at a phone, right? And then all of a sudden the image or the text would just appear here, and it's like the whatever image is tracked with the phone. So if they're moving the phone, it's like boo, like that. And so anytime they were like on the computer looking at an image, and so we see the back of the screen, instead of us just figuring out they're looking at it, they'll literally be like, they'll show us the image and I was like, what is this? Someone figured out something in the editing software and they're like, we're gonna do this. And it's like, okay, sure, do that. And then at one point where they're like, where they're meeting the woman when they figured out that's the mom. I mean, in the midst of figuring it out, the LA detective lady was like, "Oh, the man, did he look like this?" And she showed a picture, and then an image popped up, and I went, "Wait a second, is that the man's IMDb photo?" And it was. I looked it up, and it was the man's IMDb photo because it's a red carpet photo. I fucking saw that shit. I called it, and Taylor was like, "Stop!" So the entire time we're watching this movie, I'm pointing out some shit, I'm laughing at it, and Taylor keeps saying, "Stop it, stop it." I kept thinking, "Are you telling me to stop or the movie?" She's like, "The movie to stop it." There's even like the there's like a white lady in the movie that's like one of the people who are like stealing art, but she doesn't know. I mean, she probably knows she's stealing art, but she's like selling the art for bajillions of dollars. Also, round numbers in this movie. Oh, this painting, 15 million. This, 20 million. Like, no, 23, 13.5. Just like throw in like, kind of like 40, 410,000 dollars, like something like different. No, round numbers. We love round numbers. Like Birdemic all over again. Fucking round numbers. But there's a scene where they're like, it's the two cop ladies, but they're not cop ladies. They're like, they're going by like aliases because they're trying to like, because they're doing undercover stuff to like buy stolen art. And the lady's talking, and I'm watching it, and Taylor and I both at the same time go, I feel like porn is about to start, because it's like you got three attractive women sitting in a white room, and then the blonde lady is holding like a thing of champagne, and she's speaking like this the entire time. She's like, "Oh, well, oh, if you want that artwork, okay. Well, if your client is okay with it," like just speaking like that, and I'm like, it's I think about the fuck, like Taylor's like, I think they're about the fuck. Like both of us were like, fucking might commence, you know. Obviously, it didn't, but it just felt like. Is this like the storyline to the porn, kind of thing, We've got stolen artwork, titties, Yeah, so that was that movie.
Mhm.
So the second one, which is the second one that I did of the rom-com thing, um, oh god, nope, burp, burp, wait, no, okay. I was gonna hit my chest, but I'm holding a screwdriver, and I was like, "Oh no, let me put that down."
No.
I literally was about
No.
to. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yes. So the second one is A Chance at Christmas. It's called
Because it never happens. It's only like once in a few years, not every year. You'll miss it.
well, it's called A Chance because the main character's name, her last name is Chance, and
Like a
she's
dog?
yes.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. Please
No,
go
it's
on.
okay. Like it just took me a second to be like, yes, like a dog. Like it was one of those things. Like yes. Sorry, because there's like a well-known streamer and his name is Chance, so it didn't even dawn on me where I was like, bro, you have a dog's name. But anyway, sorry. So, this one is very like influencer social media oriented. So like Taylor's like, well, we have to watch this one. I was like, yeah, we have to because it's like it's very much that. And so she got a deal with like a brand of whatever stuff, and for on Christmas Eve she's got to do several different live stream videos of da da da, and if she can get like an accumulative amount of 2 million views, then like she signed for a contract with said thing,
Okay.
cool. And it's like the idea is like fine because you're taking a current thing like social media and influencers, making it kind of, Christmassy, okay, fine. Um and it's like, okay, you make the idea of her having to do the videos is tougher because it's a live stream, so she can't cut or edit, so if anything goes wrong, it's right then and there in front of everyone. of course, the company is watching the live streams, to make sure if you're doing the content right. The love interest rom-com part of it comes in because a dude is like a big fan of hers who really believes the stuff she puts out is real. And I remember I was like, no, because there's so many like YouTube families out there where, no surprise, sometime later comes out that they're abusive towards their children, or like they're not like what we put in front of the camera, like that kind of stuff. Like there were so many fucking things where like these people like the family vloggers where it's like, oh, they've been abusive to children, or like there was one recently where some dumb bitch forgot to like edit her video properly and left the part in where she was like yelling at her child to like, you need to cry more for the views, because like like their dog was sick or something and had to like put the dog down. So she's doing a video like, our dog da da da, and it's a sad thing anyway to have to post about like a family pet that you had to put down, because that sucks. But then to like also fuck up on the edit and like poke your child pretty much and be like, cry more, we need the views because mama needs a new wig or whatever the fuck, it's like, wow, bitch, backlash canceled. Anyway, the rom-com of it is the guy is a fan. He's like, oh yeah, like she's totally legit. That's a line in the movie. He said that she's totally legit. None of this is faked. And it's like, oh my god. And
He's not a stalker. He's not a stalker.
he's not a stalker. He works for that company that she's trying to get signed to, and he's a big fan. And so they were like, okay, so you're a big fan of her, go visit her. Like kind of like surprise visit. Like, we're not gonna tell her that she's gonna have like a representative of the company to go, to like kind of watch like in person, and then they'll kind of feedback and that all of this seems very normal kind of work kind of stuff. But obviously the lie of it is that she has a husband, and the guy is definitely a very generic guy, and I have to commend the actor for playing like dumb husband, like dumb guy really well. Like he played the himbo role really well, unless he really is one. He's very much like, oh, okay, let's take a selfie. Huh. Like very much like totally that kind of himbo. And so it's fake. That's not her husband. It's a guy she knew from high school. Um, but like he's playing along. And the thing is that guy is actually dating her mother in the stream when it was let out that was the mama's boyfriend. I let out a very loud scream, and I was only 6 minutes into the movie. So I was very early
Wait,
in my
you
stream.
feel that immediately?
Yeah. So the audience knows immediately that her online persona is all fake, you know? And it wasn't until like the guy, the love interest guy comes, and then he starts like realizing da 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 da. But I'm also not done yet with explaining the movie. The movie is also Groundhog's Day. It's new
No.
it's Christmas Eve. Over.
Why does that keep happening? Just let one good movie exist and then like make jokes about it on SNL. Come on,
Yeah.
get
And
a new story.
so every time they try this, they're like, we gotta hit the views, we gotta hit the views. So a couple times they hit the views, but the next day it's the same day again, because the whole point is that like the lesson in the movie is that she needs to learn to like think about her family before thinking about the views, which is actually a good like, I was
Okay.
like, wow, it's like fuck the views, it's your family, because it's like she has a teenage daughter. So the teenage daughter was just kind of like, yay, like in the video. So obviously, like, if people are watching, they're like, your kid obviously doesn't care. And then the son, who's a weird kid because it's a son, it's like, oh, honey, I made the gingerbread house. And the kid is like, I want a rocket ship. And she's like, okay, we can make that later. Why not now? Like, it's like very much like, we'll be right back. And it's like, oh. And again, I have to commend the lead actress for being really good at playing like that. All right, guys, we're gonna do like that YouTube voice that people do. Like, she did that really well. Like, the movie technically wasn't bad, but it also was very bad. You know what I mean? Because like the acting wasn't bad because it was purposely played as like they all played the parts, but it also because it was Groundhog's Day, because it was repeating over and over again. You're like, stop, like the mother. like Taylor and I both were like, we are the mother, we are the grandma, because the grandma came in like a sequin dress, looking just, and she's like, better late than never. And I was like, I'm the mother, I'm the grandma, I'm the grandma, looking like a total hoe at an old age. Yeah, I'm the mother. And at one point, I just like paused the movie completely, wasn't even paying attention to the movie, and I just said, because Taylor was in chat, I was like, Taylor, I need to get a bad like $36 shake and go wig, style it for you. I was like, girl, you can make that dress. Oh my god, it's got disgusting shoulder pads. We need to make this outfit. I was trying to be like, she's gonna be the grandma and I'll be the husband, because I could fake a beard, you know.
Mhm.
And it was like one of those sweaters I think Paul has, where it's like not exactly like the sweater that Chris Evans had in Knives Out, but like that kind of sweater. I was like, I could
Mhm.
borrow some clothes from Paul. I'm like, yeah, we'll be that couple. She was like, yes, let's do it, you know? Like, oh my god, it was just so like it took a while for like the like it they said it was like, is today like day 50 of them doing it? So like Christmas Eve was like fucking 2 months long or something for them. Like, and that's like how they end up like falling in love with one another, because it's like it makes a little bit more sense than the other rom-coms, because it's like, oh well, if
Right.
it's that long and you are the only two, and also they're the only two that remember that it's the same day over and over again. No one else does, just the two of them. So it makes more sense for like the two of them to like work together. They're building a
Mhm.
bond, because before they were really total strangers, and then they build the bond, trying to get the views, realizing, okay, it's not just the views. Oh wait, I'm being neglectful to my family. Okay, now let me da da da. And then like at the end of it, the woman was like, fuck the contract. Let's just do stuff as a family. I don't care anymore. And it was like, wow, okay. She said, fuck the bag. But then the guy was trying to be like, let's find something genuine. It was kind of creepy, because then he would be like standing there, like, just kind of recording, like, candid moments with the family. Or he'll, like, you know, put the put his phone like on like a counter somewhere, just recording. And then he sent the footage off to his boss. They posted it up, and she got the view, she got the contract, all that stuff. And then she's like, how, we didn't even do videos today, we didn't record, da da da. And he was trying to like do good and be like, look at that. And she looked at the phone, she's like, I said no. And you can't blame her for being mad. Like, everything makes sense in this movie, but at the same time, it's still a bad movie, you know. She's
Right,
like,
right.
I said no recording today, it was just a day for me and my kids and my family, blah blah. Completely reasonable for her to freak out.
Right.
And then the
You're
guy,
that creep who took photos of my children.
right? And then the guy, I mean, yes, you can be mad at him, but he was also still trying to think about his job again, you know, like, where he was just like, but you know, like, it's candid, and it's not, it's the real Christina, because her name was Christina in the movie, because they said it 1,000 times. It's the real Christina, because they were trying to be like, show the real you. And then like she recorded a video, and like, so then she was like, fine, because that was already sent out and she got the bag. She decided to record like one last video, you know, so the whole family's there. And she goes, hi everyone, I haven't been totally honest with you, like the apology video kind of thing. It was kind of funny. I haven't been honest with my audience. She's like, this isn't my husband, he's my friend. And then the mom was like, he's my boyfriend. And he's like, uh-huh. And I'm like, get it, grandma. You know, she's just like, this is my man, you know. And then like her dad's there, and then like the guy, blah blah blah. And then she's like, now she's like, with the whatever brand of whatever thing, that I somehow now have the bag of signed the contract, even though they signed me as being the woman with the perfect family, but I guess they're fine with you being so real like that. Got the bag, da da da. And then like the movie ends. It's actually Christmas Day. It's not Christmas Eve anymore. And it's like, the end.
And then she never gets with that creepy guy who filmed her children.
Right. Well, no, she falls in love with him, and it's like, blah, 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 blah. Like,
I would have preferred if she's just like, you know what, I've decided you're also part of the problem.
right?
Get
Yeah.
out of my house.
Yeah. And all because of Magical Santa.
So Santa was actually a character in this film.
Of actual, like, it's real Santa, you know? And she's like, oh god, we messed up today. I wish I could do this day over again. He made it happen. So yeah, that was the Christmas rom-com section. So that's fuck that. So the next category, because previously we had good horror, always gotta be bad horror. More bad than good, sadly nowadays. Um, so I have several movies. I have Hypnotic, No Fear, Things Seen and Heard, the Woman in the Window, Banner, There's Someone in Your House, excuse me, and Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin. Now, I don't remember some of these. So, Hypnotic is like, I think it's a Netflix original movie, or like one that they just bought the rights to just stream exclusive. Anyway, you know what I mean. It has Katie Siegel in it, which I'm like, why are you in a horrible? Why are you in a shit horror? Your husband's Mike Flanagan. You know, your husband's Mike Flanagan. He
They're not
cast.
talking.
I mean, they are, because he cast her always as like the pivotal, most important character in all the fucking in these current specials that he's been doing with with Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor, Midnight Mass. She's always like the important character. You know,
Mhm.
she's also the character that everyone is like, oh, she's hot. I mean, she is, but like also like, damn bitch, you know. Anyway, so this movie, dumb as shit. And it's like, so Katie Siegel's character is like kind of like a woman who's kind of like down and out, you know, like she's the messy friend kind of thing. And something, she gets like um suggested like a psychiatrist or something at a party, because that's the best thing is, one, a psychiatrist is at a party. Two, someone's like, this is a psychiatrist, you should go see him, and he's like, hey, you know, like drink in hand. Like that's not, you know, that's,
He'll give you pills, but
well, see, if only it was just him giving pills. So what he does is he likes to like use a form of like hypnosis to kind of like, you know, oh, maybe there's something repressed, or you like, or you can calm down and like, you know, talk about your feelings or whatever. But what he ends up doing, and I mean, I'm not surprised by this, because the actor they hired for it, I immediately was like, red flag. Like I saw the actor and I was like, oh, hell to the no. And he's like, you know, hypnotizing beautiful women for bad things.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like he'll hypnotize them, and then suddenly like the bit like what's her name?
They're forced to go to karaoke and none of them can sing.
Oh my. Sorry. I don't know why that made me more upset than what I'm about to say. Jesus. So like the main chick, she went to like the grocery store or something, and then like suddenly her phone rings, and then you kind of hear the guy's voice, and then it's like cuts to black, because then she like committed murder under whatever hypnosis thing, because her character is like, I think she either dating someone or something. Yeah, so like, and the guy has a food allergy, and that's established early on, kind of like in a hereditary kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
And so then she's in her like trance, and she makes a salad that has like, I think it's sesame that he's allergic to, and then she like makes a salad that has like sesame oil or something, and then so she's like in a trance, enjoying a glass of wine. The guy's like, blah blah blah. Eat. First of all, I already was like, first of all, bullshit. Because if you have an allergy to sesame, sesame oil is potent. That's potent. If my mom is using like 2 drops of sesame oil in the kitchen, I could smell it in my room with the door closed. So for the
Right.
guy to be like, with the salad, I was like, bro, she's the one under hypnosis. Why? Anyway, but he eats the salad and he goes into anaphylactic shock, blah, 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 dies, you know? And she's just there kind of like, you know, because she's in a trance. And once she's out of the trance, she goes in the bathroom and he's like kind of puke, but like, you know, because yeah, sesame just kills you like that. Anyway, so that's what this guy does. He like finds beautiful women and like fucking hypnotizes them to do like, you know, like terrible things for him for whatever reason. And it's like, and like is convinced that like that these women like convincing these women that like they like him, you know. So it's like the moment they hear his voice, it's either it's like sleeper cell or like ooh baby kind of thing. like, so the entire time I'm watching this movie, and I was like, this is so dumb, this is so dumb. Katie Siegel, your husband is Mike Flanagan! What money do you need? You literally got 3 Netflix bags right now, and there's gonna be more, because everyone loved all those things. Fucking hell, I watched Haunting of Hill House twice just to like catch the ghosts that were literally like in frame. I'd be like, beautiful. Bly Manor, fucking beautiful. Midnight Mass, holy fuck, things I love. Like all the things I love are in a story. Oh my god. But somehow you need to do this movie. I don't know why. But like maybe to like get away from like always working with your husband, but like honey, it's working well with you. It's not like Mila Jovovich and her husband making her do all those fucking Resident Evil fucking movies, and those were going well, because those all made sense and made, what's with the storyline of the fucking games and shit. There's no Alice in the game, goddammit, Anyway, that was Hypnotic. Fuck that.
Going back to the food allergies.
Yes.
As someone who has many food issues myself,
Right.
if I even think that there's any weed in my mouth, unless I'm just I spit it out immediately. So occasionally it does slip through every now and then, but it's like if you're deathly allergic, not only would it be the smell, but there'd be something in your body just saying like no, and you'd spit it out. And or you'd also have like that EpiPen unless you keep that somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, because you know what might have sesame in it. You're gonna want to stab yourself with an EpiPen. Like,
Right.
if you're anything like
Right.
anyone else that could die from something, you're gonna want to not do that. So
I forgot if the movie like showed that like either like it was just out of reach, or it wasn't like, or they forgot to refill. It was one of those like, oh, of course he couldn't get to it kind of thing. Like either it's like, oh, I didn't pick it up at the pharmacy, or like it was just out of reach. Like it was just.
Wouldn't he also notice that his lady friend is like looking at him dead eyed and not doing anything?
Yeah, like when they like called it back, she was literally just like
that is not an attentive like husband or
yeah,
boyfriend
or
that
whatever. Yeah, it was stupid as hell, yeah, like me, it's like, I'll eat something, and the moment I taste and it tastes like meat, I just be like, hey, and someone's like, oh, you didn't actually eat the meat, it was just a little bit of the meat juices, and I'm like, oh, yummy, terrific, ma'am. The meat juices. I'll rub it on my skin then. Jesus.
Sorry, just the idea of meat juices and just selling that like that's not somehow the most inappropriate thing I've ever heard.
You can't say that at the dinner table. Like, what? But yeah, the next movie is No Fear. Like, not as an N-O fear, but like to no fear. I forgot what it's about. I have a review on it though. Oh, I watched it. Okay, I did the review in mid-May, so that's probably why I don't remember. Okay, let's see.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
So it's one of those.
Oh god, here we go.
It's one of those movies where they show in the beginning something bad happens.
Okay. Something about a happy-go-lucky family that moves into a. I'm gonna skip through it just so I can.
This house.
Okay, happy-go-lucky
What
family.
could go wrong? Like it
Okay.
it kind of this movie kind of plays off in a way like the I guess you would say the reimagining of Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Like in that movie where in the beginning like the father burns his daughter alive, and then
What?
they're like, let's go to the cabin in the woods kind of stuff. In this one it's like that where it's like,
What?
I see the spirit, blah blah blah, like that happens.
What?
And then it's like,
I don't even remember any of this. I'm hearing myself talk, and I'm like, what?
And obviously this movie impacted you as we learned about Mr. Fear and his child anxiety,
Yeah.
learning how to deal with potty training.
Oh, let's see.
found a leather-bound book of, well, that would be really random in this household, but if I found like a weird leather-bound book, especially if it wasn't in like a foreign language, I mean, as in like if it wasn't in like Chinese or something, if it was in some kind of language and I was just like, nope, I would just throw it out, be like, nope, watch
Okay.
to it. This I was like, yeah. What's happening?
Oh
You
god.
know?
If a horror movie's putting me to sleep, bitch. Anyway.
There's like a daughter or a cousin. again, really doesn't matter because I think it's like there's an older.
You don't even remember.
guy.
You just
I think
watched it. That's
the-
past you, not to remember.
No!
Come on.
Oh my god, that's so bad! I... Oh my god, okay, let me skip more. What else happened?
It's like, right here, I have the, like, I think it's supposed to be like an EMF, but like, you know, I've watched enough, you know, like, Ghost Hunters, like, all those shows with their EMF devices, and even, like, BuzzFeed Unsolved, you know, like seeing their little, like, weird devices they have. Like, her EMF reader looked like a barbecue lighter, you know? Like, it just looked like one of those, like, the red barbecue lighters, but, like, there was, like, readings in it, and she's like, so, guys, I'm gonna keep on, this measures out the energy.
Oh, I kind of remember now. Yes, what's up?
I'm confused. So it's a family that moved in, but they're also ghost hunters?
No, I remember now. The child is like the kid has like a DSLR and is like doing its own like YouTube video. So it's like I feel like it like was doing that, and it was like I remember there's one part in the review I mentioned how I mentioned how like the kid doesn't understand camera angles because at one point it's like the camera was like this. And they're like, oh, hold on, let me hold on. They're like, I'm about to go over there. Like, it was like that. Like, the kid didn't understand camera angles. It's like, I'm about to go over there. And it's like, I get it, a camera's on a tripod, but like, the bitch had the viewfinder. You can see if you're in the shot properly to go do your thing. Like, I'm not expecting everyone to have a team. I don't have a team. It's just my one dumbass filming my shit. But also, yeah, hold on, let's, what else happened? Okay, so the kid is a ghost hunter.
It's like, there's no way, like, there's only one black person, because, like, with
Okay, the thing I always mention in horror films about how there's always just one black person or no black people in it, and then usually if there is, da-da-da. Okay, let's see what else.
That's some shit right there. Gotta throw it out. It's gonna be someone else's problem, you know? But yeah, the young girl, because she does her, like, YouTube videos and
There you
stuff.
go.
She's like, so I was looking it up, and it says this. Like, it's like, so, you know, like, you know, the whole, like, thanks movie. Tell me, don't show me, you know, stuff. Like, God, just stop. It's not such a, you know, and it's like the thing where she's like, so you see, like, oh my god, and inside of it, there's like a triangle already. I'm just like laughing about Illuminati, you know, Dorito and stuff, and it's, oh my god, so you know how like in Evil Dead and all these like,
Joe, you look confused as fuck.
Because I'm listening to myself talk about this, and I'm like, starting to kind of remember the movie, but just like I feel like this is like the movie 50 First Dates where I'm like Drew Barrymore being like, who is this person? I said all these things. Like, I'm kind of like, what? And I'm also kind of like laughing at the fact that like I keep referencing Evil Dead for this movie. But like, obviously Evil Dead is like a good series, and even the remake was good. But it's like, you know, when you're trying to do a movie that's already established, but like in a different way, it's like, oh god. Like, I already know this is so bad. Alright, let's see. What am I laughing at here?
possession supernatural movies, whenever there's like the evil book and it's like drawn and it's kind of like, it looks like black metal artwork and stuff like that, like that kind of shit. This was like, what person did you get to draw this kind of stuff? Because like I said, the props are hard. I'm a prop maker, I get it, props are hard, but there's a certain degree where I was just like, okay, did you at least, I don't know, trace something so it looks like decent, or did you get like someone's 8-year-old nephew to draw?
Oh
so
no.
they had the little Illuminati Dorito triangle thing, and it's like they're trying to go for speak no evils, like, you know, see no evil, hear no evil, that kind of stuff. So the little triangle, and there's like a drawing of like an eye or something. I mean, again, if my details are wrong, like, does it really matter?
Again, I forgot after watching the movie. Jesus, this is horrible.
This movie is not the best. And then there's like a mouth, but it was just like a like just like, okay. And then there's an eye, there's a mouth, and then there's like an ear, and it's like and then the girl was like, yeah, so one of us would be able to see the demon.
Oh, I remember.
Hear the demon.
Yes.
Can you tell me? Because it's weird hearing about you telling the story, but I still can't ask you any questions, so there's nothing clarified, so I'm just confused. So I'm just hearing from you about you watching this. and I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, what? I'm getting like just a bunch of pictures in my head, but none of them connect because I'm just imagining like three different movies. I'm just like, where the fuck are we going?
So yeah,
What is
the
going
movie
on?
is trying to be like Evil Dead, where they find the book and then they open it and all this shit happens. So the most of the expositions in this movie comes through the kid and her like YouTube videos because she's like, I'm an investigator, that kind of stuff. And yeah, the Illuminati Dorito thing is like whatever evil spirit that's in the house. One person's gonna only be able to see it. One person's only gonna be able to hear it. One person's only gonna be able to, I think, speak to it or
Why?
I don't know. I didn't write this shit.
Yeah.
And I forgot. I gotta see what else happens.
That kind of stuff.
Okay,
The
hold on.
noise, and you're like, oh, self open and like rubbing.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
What did I do?
What am I doing? Why am I rubbing my stomach? I gotta go a couple minutes back. Why am I just?
What am I watching?
Why am I being like rubbing my belly?
Are you describing like a cooking a chicken recipe? Like what's going on?
Let's see. What is
I think she was like a TA or something, but she really was just like, yeah, fuck, I got dragged into these crazy ass white. The dad starts like cutting himself open and like rubbing his blood like on the pages of the book.
What?
Like, flip through the pages.
What?
I mean, I saw something like that at the Whitney, like when I was in college.
Okay, let's move on
Like,
with it.
it was like filmed in black and white. The guy
Oh, God.
a phone book.
Oh, God, I'm just
when
talking
I was
about-
in college, and I was like,
Okay,
oh,
I'm talking
God.
about the thing.
Anyway, so rub my goo, like on it, just so stupid. And then the guy, like every so often, it was just like he had fucking tinnitus, because he'll just hear like, and then he'll hear like, and he's just like, oh my God, get out of my head, Charles. Like, okay, bro.
What is this movie that I watched and I forgot I watched?
This is the weirdest way I've interacted with you.
I'm slowly kind of remembering the movie, and even I'm like, this is a fever dream. Okay, we gotta get to, the dad cut his stomach open.
This is like the Matrix, like the most recent Matrix, where everyone's just doing like member berries, but you're actually Keanu Reeves, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck.
I really
going
don't
on.
want, yeah, hold on, let's see what else.
And I forgot what the girl did.
See? I don't even remember!
I don't know. Like, they pretty much, like, they vanquish the demon, because you know what, with these
Brian?
movies, that's so easy, and it's like, oh my God, we did it! Anyway, so, of course, the young girl just goes, oh, I mistranslated.
Oh my
No,
God!
really, bitch? You mistranslated? Oh, I would not have guessed that was a plot point.
Isn't this in a language that
You know.
doesn't exist?
And it was something along the
What?
lines of like,
I think
I can't.
I can't even ask questions about this film or get things clarified because it's just your fucking ghost. Telling you about this. What is
I can't. Alright, what mistranslation? Because even I don't know.
it's not one demon, it's two demons. And
Oh my God.
You have to get rid of both of them. But if not, like, if we just get rid of one goes back into hell and the other one lives in this plane.
What?
And I was like, oh, if it just like, does it just like live and just chill here? It's like, oh yeah, cool. Thanks for getting rid of my sibling demon sibling.
Okay.
And like, retired Florida. But yeah, of course it's like dun dun dun, and then it ends. And I was like, what? That was pretty much it. I spent, spent 38 to 40 minutes watching it and then starting to like fall asleep, no joke. Then I took a break and I was like, alright, let me just, I don't know, like, just not do, let me look at the news about Israel and Palestine because I think that will, be more interesting and, less of a headache in this movie. Then I go to continue on the movie, and I'm like, oh god, I forgot this is what I was watching. And then it ended, and I went, huh? So, yeah.
I decided to look at Israel and Palestine news because that made more sense than the movie.
What happened to you during the month of May that you don't remember any of this? We're just sitting here looking confused at you.
Oh my god! So that was that movie. So the next one.
What else do you not fucking remember, Joe?
I'm gonna get to it. Oh my god! That was an experience! That was an experience! Because most of the time when I do these videos, if I go, oh shit, I don't remember what this movie's about. Oh, I have a review on it. Before I do the video, I'll like skim through it and be like, oh yeah. I'll like, within probably like the first 5 minutes, I'll be like, oh yeah, that movie. Okay, I remember. Go to the okay, and then I'll be able to like reiterate the movie to you.
It just got more and more surreal.
I just got as we skip through the review, I was like more and more like, what? It's like literally I got put into a coma, woke up, and that was like my like confession was like, it's like, today is blah 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 day, and I'm here to confess that I murdered blah blah blah. It's like what, and it's like what? What did I do? And it's like, that's the horror film all along, is my life. I mean, might as well be, but oh my god. Wow. We are not even halfway through this. Anyway, the next thing is called Things Seen and Heard. I remember this one because this movie has Amanda Seyfried in it. And what it is like, it's Amanda Seyfried and some other person. They move from, again, the big city to suburbia, and God, I might actually have to go to the review for this. But
No.
what it is, it's like, and it's like moving to a town. She has like a husband. The husband ends up having an affair with a student because that's not gross. I don't think it's college too. It might be high school, or it might be college just to make it not seem so creepy. But at the same time, the girl he has an affair with is the girl who plays Nancy in Stranger Things because she has previously played a high school student. So like, either way, he's having an affair, not good, with a younger person, still not good. One thing I do remember is me saying, like, pointing to the marquee, being like, things seen and heard. Those are things that did happen in this movie, and like, so we're gonna have to do this.
He's like, "Arr," you know.
Right, the husband ends up having an affair because he can't get a nut. That's it. He has an affair because he can't get a nut because their kid is constantly afraid of things. So the wife is being a good mom by being like, sleep in our bed, because our kid is scared. And he's like, I just want to get a nut. Anyway, so there's that.
On this cute scarf. And
oh, the scarf fiasco. Yes, there's a scarf fiasco because the wife makes a scarf, and then like it's like, no, not the wife, the friend of the wife makes scarves. The husband buys a scarf. The lady thinks he's buying the scarf to give to the wife, then sees the scarf on a young girl and is like, aha, affair, because that's story writing. Okay, yeah.
they're looking at,
Oh, yes, now I remember. It turns out that the husband lied about the job. The old colleague finds him. It's like, how did you get the job there? You lied. Da-da-da. Okay, I remember that part. Okay.
And it's like the full on, like, they're like, okay, we're throwing a bunch of shit. Oh, let's throw Amityville in there because this never been done before.
Oh, God.
Oh,
God.
Kills her with an axe.
Leaves
a letter to the younger teen boy, like, watch the kid, da-da-da, but don't disturb Amanda Seyfried, she's tired, yada yada. Like, pretty much, like, don't go upstairs. So once the little girl, like, falls asleep for a nap, you could just leave for the day. And it's like, okay. And then freaking sleazy Dennis comes home and, like, discovers her body. It's like, oh my god, she died. Oh.
Reasonable.
Okay, while that's happening, yeah, so that movie was just dumb. It was just like, apparently the whole movie was about like how the husband got the promotion on a job that he didn't deserve, and then he pretty much like got his comeuppance just through sheer will of the universe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The next one is Woman in the Window, which I don't know if you saw like Trixie and Katya watching that movie.
No, not yet.
Okay, so they watched it, and it's pretty much like another like Rear Window, like Hitchcock's Rear Window, but this one deals with Amy Adams' character. She's agoraphobic, and she lives on like 63rd
Oh, I
third.
did see that. It was the remake of the Hitchcock movie, right?
Yeah. And she's living in like Upper West Side and like this big ass fucking, brownstone. And all I kept thinking is like, how much does this cost? Because she has like a tenant downstairs. 'Cause I think even Trixie and Katya mentioned her like the rent on that thing. She's stuck at home, da da da. She witnesses a thing across the street. She's like, oh my god, the wife was killed by the husband, blah blah blah. Long story, and then they're thinking, oh, it might be the tenant downstairs, which it's Wyatt freaking Russell, Kurt Russell's son, Mr. The not Captain America guy. So he has a sus looking face. So of course we're like, it has to be him. But then it's like, maybe it isn't him. Maybe it's the blah, blah, blah. But then like big reveal, it's actually the son who killed the mom. The son who like came into Amy Adams' house and she like, cause she's like, oh, it's a teenage boy. What bad could a teenage boy do? You know? And she's just like, oh, blah, blah. And when it like was revealed that when it was revealed that like he was the killer and it's his problem, da da da, it was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god. So that was that. And then the next one, Manor. Manor was, it was a fucking, I don't even think I did a review on this. No, I didn't even do a review on Manor. It's like it was an Amazon thing. Let me read the synopsis on. Yeah, it's a Prime thing. It says, after suffering a mild stroke, Judith Albright reluctantly moves into a historic nursing home where she becomes convinced a supernatural force is killing the residents. Part of the Welcome Collection. Da da da. Oh yeah, so it's an old lady. She moves into an old folks' home, and then it's like weird shit happens, and it like that's pretty much it. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't enough to be like, oh my god, grandma. It was just like, like I see where they were trying to go for it because it's like people obviously weren't gonna like listen to them because it's like old people, they're just gonna like be old and grandma says weird things and all that stuff, but
Mhm.
like like truly like crazy shit was happening. um and then it's like, ooh, spooky, scary. After that, it was the movie There's Someone in Your House, and god, that was a stupid ass fucking movie. I did a review on
Is
it
it
by
you in your house? Is it you in your own house?
right. And I remember like this, I did a review, but I do remember this fucking movie because it was so stupid. So it has like a teen slasher feel to it, but just fuck
Mhm.
you movie. So the term There's Someone in Your House only applies like twice, maybe three times in this. Any other
Okay.
time there's someone somewhere, it's not in the house. It was like, oh, this happened in the school, this happened in a field. There's not always someone in the house. There was someone in that house, in that house. That was it. Um so what it is that like something like kids in the high school, them kids in high school, they slowly are being killed off, and you as the audience watching it, whomever's about to be killed, the killer wears a mask of the person they're about to kill's face. So it is jarring because suddenly like you're in your closet, your big walk-in closet, because it's one of these movies where everyone's got one of those kind of houses. You're like, oh my god, I'm inside my big ass walk-in closet. That's relatable. And out like you're like, ah, and then in between the clothes, someone comes out wearing like if you're like an athlete or something, wearing your like sweatshirt and pants like thing, and then your face, but obviously the eyes here are black because and then you're like, ah, what is that? So it's like I get that being a little bit more haunting and scary because it's like, holy fuck, like they really chose to kill you if they're wearing your face, like this is murder and then some. um but it was kind of obvious to figure out who the killer was because it's like there's like there's like like a quick scene where it shows like how the masks are being made, and they're being 3D printed. So someone has to have money for a 3D printer to 3D print this. It's the rich kid, yeah, it's the rich
Okay.
kid,
Okay.
yeah. Because then like the rich kid has like a party in his house, and it's called like the secrets like party. It's called a secret party because it's a secret party because his parents don't know, but it's also a secret party so you can reveal your secrets. Because apparently, what it is that all the people that are being picked off had a secret, you know, because like the first guy who died, where there was someone in his house, is that like he suddenly saw that like there was like printed photos of him at like some party and like a party, I guess some kid died or something, you know, it's like one of those things. And like when there was the party at his house, the secret party of like revealing your secrets, when the killer showed up, if you kind of like paused that scene and looked at the crowd, guess who was missing? Also, like the thing that got me with that with the thing is that he's the rich kid, and you're the rich kid in the school and you couldn't be the popular kid. You hung out with the weird kids. Like it's like if like not saying that we don't have like great personalities or anything, but it's like if we went to school together and we're the weirdos that we have always been, and then like a rich kid was like, can I sit with you guys? And it's like, oh, there's something weird with you. And like, yeah,
It's like, oh, you are sexually attracted to mushrooms. Okay, that's cool.
my God. Yeah, so what? So, wow, sir, I'm learning something new about you. So yeah, like there's a part where like, you know, he kills all these people, it's like cuz he found out their secrets, ooh ha. And then at the end he like kills his dad cuz it's like, "Oh, that'll teach you, dad. Shut up."
For being rich?
I don't know. He's like, you know, simple plan was right, man. I'm just a kid, and whatever the lyrics are, you know. He didn't say that, but he might as well, because there's a part where like they catch him and they're like, "Hey, da da da," and then he ends up just like killing his dad real quick, and he like removes the mask of like the dad mask, and he goes, "Oh, come on!" Like he was like so upset because he had like a one liner to say to his dad. Like he literally was like so mad, like, "Oh, I was gonna say blah blah blah. Oh, come on, you made me ruin the moment. Oh, well, he's dead anyway." Okay. It was so dumb.
Okay.
It was so dumb.
Well,
And
I
then
guess it's really hard to be rich.
yeah, it is. It's really hard, you know, like
And male.
yes, in white, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then the last one on the horror list is Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, which is the only movie that is like not connected to the Paranormal Activity series. Because the other ones like they're all kind of connected because of a whatever demon, whatever
Mhm.
stuff. And this one was like everything else is like all the other ones is I have a camera. Oh my god, I got a camera. Oh no, something weird happened. I put camera here. Look at the weird stuff. And then it like slowly builds up to literally nothing. And then something finally happens and it's like, oh, the movie's over. And you're hey, wasted an hour and a half, thanks. This one is it made more sense why it was being filmed because it was like documentary kind of stuff, but it also was like found footagey. So there are times where I'm like, this does not need to be, or like, why is this being filmed right now? Like it's like those things like that go through your mind whenever you're watching a found footage movie, and you're like, why is this being filmed? When did this be? Or sometimes I'm like, who's holding the camera right now? Like when you have a moment where you're like, wait a second, who's holding the camera? Was that an
A
insert shot?
5-year-old child.
Because sometimes it's who's holding the camera, or is that an insert shot? Was that a second take? You know? Oh yeah, like the things you notice when you're like, this is found footage, and you're like, is that a second? Like, the camera was here, but in the middle of the man's sentence, it cut to something here. Well, that's great that that guy decided to monologue it a second time. You know, running two cameras. Yeah, it was like. But anyway, again, it's not very good because it's a Paranormal Activity movie. None of them are
Mhm.
good. You know, this one not particularly good either. You know, this one was like it did the thing of like it didn't even need to be Paranormal Activity. It just probably just tacked the name on because, you know, it's a name we all know. It was literally
Mhm.
just like a camera crew goes to a thing. Oh, there's something in the middle of a forest, blah blah blah. There's a church in the middle of the snow. It was like these people are Amish, and then people in town are like they're not Amish because they're not because you just like you later discovered they had like a laptop and all that stuff, and they're like lured the girl in, and then she's like, oh, the whole documentary thing was like her finding like her birth parents or something, so that's how she got lured in. Oh, it's dumb. It's so it's like it's thin. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
well written, obviously. Anyway, so then it's like slowly but surely, like people are being like sacrificed. There was a scene that was cool where like a two-headed sheep, two-headed lamb was birthed, and it's like because like the effects of it, it was definitely more digital than practical, but it was kind of like, "Ah!" And then they killed it because you might as well sacrifice an animal. But of course, it was filmed in the what is that? What's that? Obviously, no steady shot at all. What's that? Wait, did they hear us? I'm like, I don't know. All I hear is, yeah, they probably heard you, bitch. But yeah, you just hear like there is a drum circle happening upstairs in this barn that no one has access to. I wonder if that's them, you know? But yeah, so that was that movie. Obviously, it's one of those where like everyone dies and somehow the footage is found, you know? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, because it does the thing where it's like everyone dies, but then it's like the guy who killed them ends up holding the camera. But then you're getting dash cam footage from a cop filming him, but when the dash cam footage is filming the guy, he has no camera in his hand. Yeah, that's
Oh, okay, cool. Consistency.
yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, that's one of the things whenever I watch found footage where I'm like, I no.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the end of the horror one. So the next one is sci-fi fantasy. So we also have sci-fi fantasy. I have Cinderella, Tomorrow War, Old, Naked Singularity, and the fourth Matrix movie. Um, well, you watched Cinderella with me, and then you also watched Matrix, right? Did you
Yes.
watch any of those others? Any of those other three?
No, I just watched another person review Old, and I'm just like, that's a terrible plot.
Yeah,
Anyway, please continue.
yeah. So Cinderella, I wish. So my dumbass, because I was thinking, oh, it's a watch party stream, so I didn't record the stream, and I downloaded my stream afterwards. Apparently, something happened while downloading the thing. I didn't even want to bother re-downloading it because a stream is like several hours long.
Right.
Anyway, so when I initially cut the stream to do a review, I kept getting an error message every time I was rendering it because like yeah, you didn't get to see the movie, but just like my response to the movie was pretty funny. And then so that's it sucks that we're like asked out of like, a review
Right.
kind of thing. But anyway, it's terrible. It gets half a star because pretty much reiterating what I said during that stream, which is this movie didn't know what time period it wanted to be. It wanted to be Baz Luhrmann by being like, this is the before time long, long ago, but we're going to use current songs. Fine. I made a joke saying that because Hamilton had rap in it, so they're like, well, we'll put rap in everything now, like in any musical. I'm like, but it has to make sense. That's the whole point. We all agreed that Billy Porter went in there for 11 minutes of a check and then left, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he was really the only reason why I even like thought to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's got Billy Porter. How bad?
Pretty bad. I mean, anyone can pay Billy Porter. Doesn't mean
Yeah,
anyone wrote for anything beyond Billy Porter. And Billy Porter was also the best dressed because I'm sure looked at the outfit, said, no, this one, and then got it, and then got to be a butterfly and left.
yep. And then the girl, because they got like a pop star to be the main character, her acting was just mid. But a lot of people's acting was also very mid. You know, it was just like you did it. And then the fact that whenever she sang, she did the chin wag thing where her jaw dislodged from her face and ran around the room and came back, but she'd be like, whenever she did that. And I was like, stop doing that. And I was like, is this just like an exaggerated thing because she's lip syncing during these scenes, Like, not every musical has you singing on camera at the time, Not everything's fucking Les Mis. I mean, sometimes should be Les Mis. But and then remember, I looked up the live footage, and she's like, and I was like, oh, that's just your thing. That's your thing. Like Sia's like when she like squeaks the note. That's your thing. The chin wag. Okay, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
was terrible. It was awful. It was so fucking dumb. Like
The costumes were bad too, like the costume that
everything.
Cinderella made, quote unquote.
Oh my god, everything that she's such a great design. Oh, everything was shit. Oh, this thing? Yeah, it's like
This tan and lavender dress with like a fake butterfly brooch on there that was made by a 10-year-old.
yeah, like everything was just like the designs weren't half bad, but like, like the fact that she showed up in like beige, and then other people in the party are in like these big, bright colored dresses. It's like, shouldn't it be like the opposite? Like that's why she gets the attention. Like it's a red dress. Everyone's in tan. Like that kind of stuff. Like the colors, people, the use of colors. It's like remember during the stream I even said like my apologies to the jingle jangle thing, because as dumb as the story was, the costumes were fucking amazing in that movie. They
Mhm.
thought about color palettes and all this stuff. This movie was like, oh, we're gonna go to those like prom dress stores I see in every mall in Jersey and just buy the lot of it, like rent the lot of it. Here you go, done.
Also, everyone could sing and everyone could dance. Like everyone had their parts to play, and there was just well, who was it? Like it was a guy who was infamous for doing terribly in singing in general, and he was still given a singing part, and everyone's just like, okay, this is fine. Here we are. Oh, it was I can't remember who it was, but it's the father of the prince, the king. The king, that's
Yes. Yeah. And it was like, why is this happening? It was so fucking bad. Like,
Mhm.
I'm glad we all got to experience that together. I can't imagine if I just like sat there by myself watching it. I'm like, oh, it's a news. Okay, here. Like my Instagram stories would have been like one of like like 1,000 notes of me just bitching about it. I'm glad I was like, guys, we're streaming it and we all have to suffer through this together, because no, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, or like the whole thing of like the evil stepmother was like kind of evil, kind of not. Like, you know what I mean? Where she's like the whole thing about you got to be a strong, independent woman, but at the same time you still need a husband. Like the moral, the story, the idea, the fucking point of the whole movie didn't make any sense. It's like every strong, independent woman in the movie used to have a dream of doing something, but then they got a man, so then everything was fine.
Mhm.
Like, remember how it's like, you can not be with the prince and do your thing. But then she's like, I'd rather be with the prince than to get, like, the job with the princess on the boat thing or whatever fuck. She, like,
Mhm.
still went with the prince. And I'm like,
But
and,
she still got the job in the end, but just like, oh, it happened to fall into your lap after that.
right. And then, oh, and also I got really aggravated because they used Queen, you know?
Mhm.
I was like, please stop, please. Freddie Mercury would not want this. No, like this is not the right kind of gay. This is like derogatory gay. You know?
Mhm.
Like that whole movie was gay brackets derogatory, you know? Then the next one is Tomorrow War, which is another Amazon original. This one involves Chris Pratt being a high school science teacher, because that's believable. And it's called Tomorrow War because you and a set group of people are launched into the future to fight the Tomorrow War. There were some creatures that came to Earth, and then you in the past go to the future to fight it because everyone in the future is dead. So you have to fight the Tomorrow War. You can't call it Future War because that's also a very bad movie from back in the day. And the movie did the thing I hate, which is it starts off with Chris Pratt falling through the sky, and it literally did the thing of it stopped, and he might as well have said, "You probably wonder how I got myself into this situation." Like he stopped, he's like, "I guess I should explain how I got here," and I'm like, immediately I was like, "No!" And it was like, it did the rewind, and then it's like him being high school science teacher because I could believe that Chris Pratt's a high school science teacher. Jesus. And then the Tomorrow War thing happened. He gets sent to the future, blah, blah, blah. And the only thing I liked about the movie was this one character's reaction to the monster. Because the monsters were done well, because they were done by like an effects company that I follow. Like they're, ooh, okay. It was like, it was practical stuff and then some CGI. So like, I bet whatever that actor saw was the practical effect. And then, because it was like the best reaction. It's like someone, well, because I wasn't gonna watch it, but then someone I follow on Tumblr who also has good taste in like cheesy movies, like that's how I found out about Psycho Gorman. Um, he just like made a gift set of just the guy, like you kind of see the creature, but him just going shit, like running down the stairs, shit, and it's like that's the most genuine reaction to a weird alien creature. because
Mhm.
all of us would react like that. That's how all of us play survival horror games. That's how I played, freaking Silent Hill. A lot of that going on because you're just like, I don't know, and then a thing comes out underneath a van, and I screamed, and the controller flew in the air. Um, that was my favorite part, was just that guy seeing the monster, like this thing, and then just being shit, 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 and running away. And that's my favorite part of the entire movie because everything else was just ass. Oh, and then you find out that the girl who's commander in this thing in the future is Chris Pratt's daughter. Like it's fucking Interstellar. Like it's fucking Interstellar. It's like, and then he's like, when I saw you, and he's like, he's like, oh my, like kind of like, oh my god, you're so grown up and da da da. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but wouldn't like your daughter, I don't know, kind of look like you, like older, or
Well,
like your wife? Like, unless someone cheated, like, unless it's one of those kids where it's like the kid somehow doesn't look like either parents, and you're like, you're adopted. But, like, and I knew that was coming anyway, because it's like, why is this, like, you know, pretty blonde just, like, being way too close to Chris Pratt? And, like, with the age and all that stuff, like, there's no way this is, like, suddenly, like, a random new love interest, because that'd be weird, kind of thing. I'm like, this has to be his kid. And then when it was revealed, I'm like, oh, okay, we're going the Interstellar route. I mean, only Interstellar was more fun and interesting, and Matthew McConaughey was in it, you know? Like, oh, okay. Um, so yeah, that was Tomorrow War. Like, no.
when you said Tomorrow War, I just kept thinking, so global warming? Does
Right.
that make
The Tomorrow War. We're all dead. Yeah. Uh,
Also, what a terrible name.
because they're fighting the war that's tomorrow. Oh my god! Then wait, I'm not done yet. So then
Oh.
they find out that the creatures. It was like fucking, Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds thing, where it was like, oh, the aliens didn't come then when they arrived. They've been here this whole time because they found out there was like a thing, like a zoom boom thing. So then the movie ends with them being in the current timeline, and then they go underground somewhere and found like the pods and like killed the pods, so they don't have to have the Tomorrow War. Ah, victorious end of movie.
Well, wait. So, wouldn't it make more sense if just like Chris Pratt had nothing to do with anything and someone from the future did a Terminator thing and said, like, just came into the past? I guess this is different than Terminator, but still, like,
Right.
came into the past, said, like, hey, there's this thing underground, I'm killing it, killed it, and then went home, and then everyone was happy.
I mean, that would be a great 20 minutes. And also
Well,
wouldn't have to involve Chris Pratt. It would just be like, "Hey guys, what? What? Yes, what were you doing? Punch and pie, punch and pie. Like, yeah, that'd be it. That'd be it."
I would enjoy that. Just everyone being like, so some guy broke into the underground lot of Walmart and then burrowed their way through the parking lot down 30 feet and set off a bomb. And then they're like, woo, victorious, and then filled it all back up with epoxy. And now here we are. But no one believes me because it somehow covered itself up with instant cement and there's now a dip there. Guys?
now I
Did,
now I'm in a padded cell. Hello. Yep. And then, okay, so the next one is Old. Fuck that movie. Like the idea of it, it's a very the Shyamalan thing of the idea is kind of like interesting. Like, we're just gonna like lie to these people, have them come to like give them like a free vacation thing to an island, and people are definitely gonna want to come, and then like slowly ship them off to this one beach where time moves very fast. Okay.
but like, wouldn't their neighbors or like their family members be like, hey, where did Lawrence go? Oh, he's dead now. What? They never found his body. He went on vacation along with 30 other lucky contestants.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, so like the idea of that, right, was interesting. Like, we're just gonna like give people a free vacation. throw them on this freaking, beach. They're gonna get old, they'll freak out, and then they'll die. Okay. It's like a different look on like Fantasy Island kind of thing. Okay,
Mm.
sure, whatever, who cares? But then there was like the twist, the Shyamalan twist as to why it is what it is, which is like the dumbest thing in the world, which is like it was medical testing.
I mean, I don't like the idea of testing on animals, but there's a lot of rats.
I get what you mean. Yeah. Like, I get what you mean. And it was just, like, so dumb to be like, we just... And yeah, like, they slowly, like, figured out that everyone had, like, something wrong, which I fucking thought was hilarious that one of the people had bonitis. I was like, oh my god, the fucking Futurama thing. Bonitis. Remember the one person was like... Like, just curled.
Yeah.
They had bonitis. They literally had bonitis because there was a girl... There was the girl who was like, the calcium lunch? Okay, the calcium breakfast, is it actual calcium, or are you just, like, putting that as a name? Because I need calcium. Like, she just kept saying that. And then, like, because she was there, and, she was freaking out and didn't get a chance to eat and get her calcium, her bonitis happened, and I just, like, I was dying, and I was like, oh my god, it's, like, Futurama.
You would have those fucking pills on you. Sorry, but
I know, like, as two people with issues, we every time we bring up stuff like that, we're like, no, because I said people who have problems would not be the case. Like, dude, we fucking... You see how... I'm, like, looking at my desk, but you see how much fucking painkillers I bring whenever, like, we're traveling somewhere.
I've seen you take the painkillers.
You know? Well, these are...
Oh, Joe's having breakfast.
Oh, these are vitamins. Actually, I should take one. It's been a while. But yeah, like, it's exactly. It's like, what the fuck? Like, the bitch had bonitis, and then there was, like, the like, also, yeah, one of the victims was, like, a famous rapper in, like, that universe. And it's like, wouldn't people know? Like, if someone was like, hey, guess what? Eminem went missing. You know, like, wouldn't people be concerned? I mean, I don't know. That's showing my age because I'm like, oh, Eminem. Because, like, if someone said whoever the fuck nowadays, I wouldn't care. I mean, yeah. Because I'd be like, oh, no, Eminem. Is he okay? You know? like,
Well, I mean, this is a completely different conversation, but the older, like, celebrities are still fucking known. Like, if you say Snoop Dogg went missing,
oh, my God, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, what happened? Did he run out of weed? Where's
did he actually kill a guy this time?
Right. Ask Martha Stewart. She would have to know. They cook together. Like, Martha, do you know where Snoop Dogg is? Yeah, like, I would freak out. exactly. Yeah. It's like, there's that. And then you have the medical testing thing, and they're like, when that came out as, that was, like, the reasoning why, I was like, oh, okay. They're like, guys, because of this, we saved 30 years on the medical research. And I'm just like, cool, you guys cured bonitis or whatever. Like, awesome, guys. And then,
That's
like,
so expensive. Like, not even talking about how, like, oh, you're killing people. That's not cool to begin with.
right.
However, what? You brought these people all the way to the other side of the world? Only like 10 of them, let's be honest.
Right.
To like maybe save time on this research, maybe, unless like they just happen to die and you're like, ah, shit, they died too quickly for me to measure anything.
Right. Like, I don't think Shyamalan was thinking about the scientific method when he, writing them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and then also, like, oh my god, the awkward thing. First of all, this movie, the choices he made with camera, like, position. So there'll be times where it's like, I mean, once you kind of understood why they were doing that, you're like, but you were still kind of like, so, obviously the kids, they were little, and then they grew up, so you wouldn't, like, see them. You would just see, like, it would just be, like, an arm. So, like, this arm is a child's arm, quote unquote, and I'm the adult, and it would be like this. Like, these would be the camera choices. This, literally, there would be an obstruction in the camera, and then then it's like, I'm the mom or dad here, and the kid's arm is in my shot. This is a choice that was made. And then suddenly, it would go to a different angle, and suddenly you see that the kid is older. And you're like, was that supposed to be part of the reveal? You could have had, like, the kid's arm here, while the parent is talking, and then revealed that the kid is older. that would have been better than like you being like, I'm trying to like watch the movie, get that fucking thing out of here, you know what I mean? You get the bad bootleg and someone stands up and like keeps walking back and forth, you're like, damn it, sit down, I'm trying to watch this movie, you know? Yeah, it's like that. um and like those choices were a lot, and then like the idea of like, so of course I was creeped the fuck out because the kids that are there were like, I'm 11, I'm 8. And then like the son ends up like having sex with one of the other like the girls. Cause like, oh my god, the thing, I said this in my review. I was like, I know I do a lot of horror. I like, you know, all that stuff. But what like bothered me in this movie was the fact that the girl just stuck her hand into a bag and just ate spaghetti like that. It wasn't spaghetti, it was like pasta. It was like a pasta salad, and she just ate it. And just seeing wet pasta in someone's hand just like that, it like that bothered me more than like if suddenly someone's head was severed. You know, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But her being like, she's like, are you hungry? She's like, I'm so hungry. And as that was playing out, I was like, wait, no, oh wait, are they insinuating? But the kid is 11. Like, I kept being like, but it's a kid. I don't care that you suddenly grew up in the past five. Yeah, I don't care that you suddenly grew up in 5 minutes. You're still, you know. And then like they walk out of the tent, and then the mom is like, oh my god. And so like the son is like, what's that actor, Alex Wolff, he was in Hereditary, he was the son in Hereditary, so he's like like mad grown, he's like mid-20s looking guy, obviously, you know. And then the girl is there, and because obviously, you know, she grew, and her boom, suddenly pregnant belly, and I saw it and I was like, oh no, I was like, oh my god, ew. But really like, like looking at that because it was so uncomfortable seeing it, you know. So fucking uncomfortable. I was like, bitch, no, no, we are not playing this fucking game right now. And they were like, and then like, the dad was like, why? He's like, well, we only did it once. And he's like, how do you know about this? He's like, internet. And I was still like, that doesn't help. I'm grossed out. Like, just think about like an 11-year-old look up porn. I mean, like, kids are curious and the internet exists nowadays, but also like, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that, you know?
Also, why would they like want to bang suddenly? It's not like any of the adults are suddenly being like, well, if I'm gonna die, it's gonna be with a wet dick.
Yeah, because the entire time the adults are freaking out because they're noticing like people are slowly dying and children are obviously rapidly aging and all that
Mhm.
stuff. And it's like, I get it, you suddenly like grew into, well, like growing into adulthood, like you hit puberty and all that stuff, but like goddamn, you hit the horny button like hard on that one, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Because
that's
especially
horrible.
if you're going through puberty that fast, like the changes, even when it was going at normal speed, it's like, what is all that? Imagine if it was like you're like, oh, hair and random like movement of things and shaping and all that stuff, and like that all of a sudden you're like, I don't care. This is weird, but horny. You know, like, bro, like Jesus Christ. Yeah. So it's so dumb. And then the whole thing where like we swam out past the reefs and all that stuff, and then like by the end he's like a fucking like 50-year-old guy, and then they're like, how are you doing? He's like. Well, how do you think I feel? I was 11, like, you know, 6 hours ago or some shit like that. And you're there, like, you know? Again, the idea of it seemed kind of interesting. Like, go to this beach, rapidly age. It's like, oh shit. And like initially I was like, oh shit, okay. And then it was like, from M. Night Shyamalan. I was like, oh shit. You know? Like I was like, okay. So I had to watch it, you know? And then I did, and I was like, ah shit. Like, I was old. Yeah. And the next one was Naked Singularity, which was a movie that it was John Boyega and Bill Skarsgård. I was like, which Skarsgård? Bill Skarsgård, the guy who played It, the clown, the new one,
Yeah.
Pennywise. And it's like they did fine, but the movie was like two different movies happening at the same time, and it didn't know what it wanted to do with itself.
Mm.
Because it was like a movie about how like the world is coming to an end, Like, all right. But then at the same time, like, John Boyega is a young, like, pro bono lawyer in New York, and it's like,
Mhm.
right? And also, the entire movie had no, like, the main characters, none of them were American, because it was John Boyega, Bill Skarsgård, and then Olivia something, like, none of them were American. Like, you got like British and European people, like, none of them were Americans, but they were New Yorkers. What got me annoyed was, like, the girl was like trying really hard to do the New York accent the entire time. So she was like, I'm so New York. This is me, I'm New York, you know what I'm saying? New York. Like, so like dude, like, not everyone, what are you, Cindy Lauper? Like, I'm Cindy Lauper. Like, she had like that where it's like, not everyone has that extreme of an accent. Jesus Christ. Like, mine comes in and out, you know? Damn,
Mhm.
bitch. But she's like from New York, so I have the big hoop earrings, I got the nails and stuff, and it's like, you're just not, like, no. And then again, you got Bill Skarsgård and John Boyega, which again, American accents totally fine because they played regular American accents. They were like, "I'm from New York. What's up? Let's get a pizza." Like, like whenever people are like, they're like, say hot dog, or something. I don't really say
Mhm.
dog. I mean, that shit sometimes
It
slips
kind
out.
of come out a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I say all, a lot of times it would be like all, like that, all, that comes out, but like
Mm.
rarely. But I mean, again, especially if I'm like tired or pissed off, yeah, that the accent totally comes out. But anyway, so
Mhm.
the movie feels like two different movies at the same time. I feel like the best way to describe it is I have to look up the letterbox review. Oh, here we go. The person said, okay, person said, double cross impounded hidden drug car auction heist equals confusing. Cosmic event, oh my god, I can't read. Cosmic event causing momentary time collapse equals confusing. Put them together, the fuck? Like, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. I said it's two different movies. I had no idea what they were doing, but they put the movies together. Like, again, John Boyega did fine with wherever the script gave it to him because he's John Boyega. He's a talented boy. Bill Skarsgård did fine because he's a talented boy as well. And then the girl, she, accent aside, she did fine because she is a good actress. Just don't ever do that accent again. But just the
Mhm.
fact that it literally was two different movies put together, and they're like, here we go, and I'm like, no, because there's I can't name one right now, but I've experienced like watching a movie that feels like two different movies, but it's like, wow, I could never imagine that happening, but like this made it work. But like this was like, what? Like it feels like if you and I both wrote different scripts and we're like, let's make a movie, and then it's like, oh, I thought we were going with the time skip thing. And then you're like, I thought we were going with like the young lawyer with the drug thing. Well, let's just shuffle the pages. Like, that's
Mhm.
what it feels like, you know? Jesus Christ. Yeah. And then the last one on this list is the fourth Matrix movie. God damn. So I learned that the that Warner Brothers was gonna make another Matrix movie with or without the Wachowskis. And that sucks. But I also feel like if you're gonna like do a Matrix movie without the Wachowskis, like, I feel like studios a lot of times really think the audience is that dumb. Like, sometimes the audience is that dumb because people clapped at the end of Transformers 3 when it hit the credits, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, end me now. But at the same time, people who are a fan of The Matrix, if you see, oh, there's gonna be a new Matrix movie come out, oh, the Wachowskis aren't attached to it, well, I don't really want to see it. I mean, that's great that Keanu's there, but I don't really want to see it if it's not the Wachowskis, because it's literally the Wachowskis' idea. What made me like interested in seeing this because I saw that Keanu's back, fucking, Carrie Ann Moss is back, and it was like, well, it was one Wachowski, but at least it was a Wachowski, you know?
At least it was one of them, yeah.
This was one of them. And then I was given slop. I was given this fucking meta shit. I was given this movie that was pretty much a middle finger to Warner Brothers, but not even done in a smart way. Like, done in a way of like, The Matrix was a video game. Warner Brothers, zippity boo bob. It was a trilogy. Ah. And it was like trying to be like, get it? Meta. And I'm just like, dude, we're not that stupid for fuck's sakes, you know? And then it's like, dude, like, fucking Lana, if this was your way to give, you know, like, Warner Brothers the middle finger by being like, if you're gonna, like, take away my art baby, like, oh god, sorry, my computer froze for a second, we're good. Like, if you're gonna take away my art baby, then I will ruin it before you can ruin it. And it's like, that's like the worst thing you can do. Because it's like, that's your thing. And even if you want to give Warner Brothers the middle finger, which I totally understand, it's like, I don't know, maybe this is where like the stubbornness in me comes in, where I'd be like, okay, you wanted to make my shit without me? I would turn up something fucking awesome. Because we
Mhm.
all know that third movie was ass. The second one was like, oh, okay. The third one was like, what? You know? Like, I even put it on with riff tracks and I fall asleep. Like, you fall asleep during a Matrix movie, you know? Like, Jesus
Mhm.
Christ. And then so much of the movie, when it was doing like the throwback stuff, kept showing me old footage. It's like, yeah, these are important scenes that we all know. Like, we meme about it to this day. You don't need to show it to me. You can just mention it. I know what it is. It's in my head. I just posted a meme about it yesterday. You know, that kind of stuff. Like, the only
Mhm.
time that made sense was when Priyanka Chopra's character showed up and she was like the older version of the little Indian girl in the third movie. Then it was like,
Right.
oh, okay. You know, then I was like, okay, that's when you bring it back. Cause, you know, I wasn't thinking that. Everything else is like, remember Bullet Time? You know, that thing that got memed to hell since the movie came out, that still gets memed to this day. You didn't need to show me that. You know, it was just like, I felt like not to be dramatic, but I felt like so betrayed as a fan of the Matrix, you know?
Well, it's like they took the most interesting ideas that could have been in there, like establishing this, which honestly might not have even needed Keanu because he was dead. But
Uh-huh.
just like the fact that although I like, Keanu being back and it's interesting having him like shave because it's just like, oh, that's where your aging happened.
Right, because you can't tell, and then when he shaved it all, it's like, oh no, he's old now. Like, you're like, what?
That's why you're not fighting people. You shouldn't.
Right.
But it was the fact that they were establishing the city that was part like machine, part human, and the war that ensued between the machines and this blended society. Like, what was this blended society more about? Just like, oh, okay, there's a lot of interesting challenges that happened here. Okay, bye.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the fact that they couldn't get like Lawrence Fishburne back because apparently because of the video games, he's also dead.
right.
Even though that doesn't matter for Keanu, because Keanu was dead.
Well, apparently, like, in an interview with Lawrence Fishburne, they're like, why aren't you in the new Matrix movie? He's like, you're gonna have to talk to Lana about that. And it's like, oh, yeah. Like, exactly. Like, you know, and that was the thing, like, because what's his name? Yaya, I always forget how to pronounce his last name. But him being Morpheus, it's like, it's not his fault. He's great. We were talking about how great he was in fucking Candyman. He's a great actor. But he was given pretty much to, like, pretend to be freaking Lawrence Fishburne. Because even, like, that scene where he, like, comes out of the fucking bathroom stall and he goes, this is. He's like, funny how I said that, you know, blah blah blah, and now I'm doing that here in a bathroom. Like it just being like too self aware, and like the Matrix is not like the type of movie to like do that kind of self aware shit, because that's like where why? Because like
And
no,
there's no point to it anymore because it was always supposed to be. Everyone will have their own interpretation of it. Some people see it more as like, a queer a realization,
ah,
self-identity story.
yes,
Um, there was even characters in there that were supposed to be trans but weren't allowed to be
right.
because of the big studios.
It was
Um,
1999, yeah,
Yeah, and then, it was also people kind of thinking about like I think it was based a lot on German philosophy and having all of that be an interesting concept that was new to completely American audiences. And now it's like video games are funny.
yeah. It was just so like it just got me like, come on, man, you know, like I think Hugo Weaving was supposed to make a cameo, but due to scheduling conflict, he couldn't. Like,
Um,
so he could have had a cameo. Um,
I would have loved that because no one could match him, not even, King George.
Yeah, not even Groff. Yeah, exactly. Like he was doing
He was
well.
good, yeah.
Yeah, I was it like when I posted the boomerang on my stories of the notes I took, because I took a lot of notes,
Mhm.
and of course my buddy Steve, being Steve, he of course paused to look at some of it, so he kept like, so I kept getting like messages on Instagram with like, he goes, what's it? He's like, what, gay on gay violence? Because it was like when it was like Neil Patrick Harris and Groff fighting, and I was like, it's gay on gay violence. And it was like no like surprise that Neil Patrick Harris was playing like the new architect, because vis-a-vis concurrently he was fucking speaking in the same kind of cadence and vocabulary, and I was like, oh, here we go. And it's just like, I just felt like, again, not to be like, I felt betrayed, because that's so dramatic and like unnecessary to
Mhm.
say that, but just like I really liked the first Matrix. It was really awesome. Like it's talk about game changer in cinema. It really was. Like, no matter how much it was like fucking memed and all that shit, it really was a game changer. And I thought it was fucking like ridiculous that like, I know this is your fucking, baby and all that stuff, but you just like, you shitted all over the fucking bed and rubbed my face in it? And it's like, dude, it's like, and I feel like because I found out that this was like a fuck you, I felt I hated the movie more. Like, sometimes it's like, it's like the thing of like, oh, okay, we found out the thing about Wonder Woman 2. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Like, that was our reaction. But like, I didn't have that reaction when it came. It wasn't like, oh, that's why. It was like, no, this is no excuse for that then. Because like the other thing was like, well, you were pushed to do it this way. This other one was like, you had no excuse. You did this on purpose. You had a fucking statement to make, and you thought that this would be a good statement by betraying your fans, by giving a fuck you to the studio, which again, I totally understand. But at the same time, then like you made the entire universe that you created of this Matrix thing into a whole fucking joke,
Mhm.
and it's like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. And then like, I had said like in my review that I thought that, well, because the Wachowskis are out, trans women, that because we learned about their being originally a trans character in the first movie, I thought now, because trans people are more accepted and all that stuff, that they would do the trans character in this movie.
Right.
I thought that
They would finally do Switch because Switch was just killed off in an instant.
right, and it's like, oh, it's an androgynous blonde woman who's probably German, because usually a lot of blonde German women look, it's like, hello, but you know what I mean. It's like, I thought they were gonna do that, but it's like, okay, they didn't do that, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the only difference is like, what's her name? Who was Colleen in Iron Fist? Like, her hair is blue now, and it's like, eh,
That also didn't make sense to me, like just color and story wise, because Blue, you took the pill. So unless they were planning on having it be like, oh, it's a deep fake, she's actually a spy for the Matrix in itself, like, shouldn't her hair have been red? She went to the effort of having like the bunny tattooed on her like mental self. Why blue hair? I know it's flattering,
right,
but
it's the
well,
internet.
Joe,
Yeah.
this is actually an intervention with me and no one else here to criticize you for no reason
Well,
on
my
how to be
roots have
Christian.
grown in so much, like, hold on. It's like, wait, when do we get to green? When do we? Ah, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. Took that
You
long to get to green. Look at that.
you still look like the 90s
I
bully.
do.
What?
I do. I look like I should be on like the opposite karate team. Oh man, Charlie, you're gonna hear from the. Yeah, tuck that back in. How am I always the
Oh
'90s?
no, it's Yellow Snake.
Right? Because it's like, got the streak in the hair. Everyone calls me skunkhead. What? I'll show you. You're not my real dad. Like, what? Anyway, um, yes, I'm part of the problem. Blah blah blah. But yeah, it's just like, again, she did fine. She was great. She's always given these roles that don't utilize her correctly, and I feel bad for her.
That
You
was
know?
the thing. All the actors did fine. All the
Yeah,
actors were good actors. It's just they were given really weird parts to play. And then
yeah,
like I thought they were going to go someplace with, hey, Keanu is dead and this is or like his character Neo is dead and he's just a memory inside of the Matrix, which is why it's like, he's regenerated as different people every time or something.
Right, yeah, exactly. When I was when I was first watching it too, I thought it was like, cuz he was in the Matrix. I thought it was like in real life Neo. But like again, kind of like a thing of like he's not really dead, kind of thing, and life is what it actually is, because in my head I thought whatever real life they saw in the previous Matrix movie was also like kind of like an Inception thing where you got to stack the dreams. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
thought. I was thinking too hard. Where you got to stack the dreams, and then he's also in another Matrix. So he's actually in real life. He's fine. He's aged. Da da da. But he doesn't remember all those other things. Well, because again, just like Inception, you don't really remember your dream too well, kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I should have just watched Inception instead. I'm just like, but so he wakes up and he's like, "Yo, something's not right," like, or like having PTSD or something. Like, again, I'm thinking of a way better storyline than what the fuck we were given. And then like, in the trailer, you're given like those things where it's like back in the Matrix, because it's like, oh, he's probably talked about it, so it's like, what's this thing Matrix? I keep thinking like again something, and then like it turns out that like he has to get jacked back in because of blah 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 cyber crimes or whatever, like whatever
Mm-hmm.
thing, and but it became like whatever it was, and I just thought it was like ridiculous that it was like at one point it's like we're just gonna film this at night just to save on like effects. Because in the first movie, it's like everything happened during the day. Everything happened during this one. Is like we're running away on a motorcycle at night, so you can't tell we're two stunt people and not actually them. We're gonna do this, so then we get like pyrotechnics off at night, so then you can't really tell because we'll what's the thing? I forgot what's it called, but like you frame the shot and then you multiply the people. When you do that,
Ah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
When you do that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you could do that at night just because you don't have to worry about the lighting, or if it's like obvious cut and paste, it's like, oh, this is
Mm-hmm.
mirrored. It's like it was saving on effects because it's like, well, just do it at night, even though everything. And then like when it ended and it was like, oh, Trinity can fly. It's not Neo, it's Trinity. What? And by then, I didn't even care anymore. I didn't even care. I didn't even care that like it was like Trinity also, like has force, sensitivity, like I didn't even care that she had. By then I was just like I didn't care. I literally didn't care. By the end of it, I was like, I don't care that also Trinity is the chosen one. Like I was like, when it came to that, I was like, I don't care. Oh, the movie's done? Good.
Actually, you're right. It got kind of rid of the whole idea of, because the idea of choice was so essential in the first trilogy,
Yeah.
and that didn't matter at all. I mean, they kind of like had some choice, just being like, Trinity has to decide that she wants to be out here instead of with her fake children and
Right, that thing.
husband, who I think is also a director.
Yes, the guy who plays her husband in the movie is a director normally. Yes.
Yeah, none of that made. Why have anyway?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, and then it ends with like a cover of Rage Against the Machine because they couldn't afford Rage Against the Machine like they previously did, you know? And I think I made a comment about how like Rage Against the Machine is back together. You could have gotten Rage Against the Machine, but instead you got a cover of Rage Against the Machine, which got me more aggravated because you're trying to do the same thing you previously did, but it's a cover of Rage Against the Machine. You know what I mean? It's like
I guess you could say, oh, that was on purpose because this is like a new version of the movie, so why do the original version of the song?
I mean,
Maybe you could write an essay about that and convince your like high school lit teacher.
right? Sure, why not? Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that's that. So I have one more category and then the honorable mention. So the last category, it's called other because literally I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally anything. So I have this. I have Space Jam Legacy and then Monday. To talk about Monday first before I do Space Jam because there's a lot more
Sure.
talking. So the movie Monday, I even took a second being like, "What's Monday?" And I looked it up. And I went, "Oh, that's the movie where you see Sebastian Stan's dick in it." Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And I was like, well, I have to watch this movie now, and it was not worth like the 2 seconds you see his dick to watch the entire movie because, well, one, I mean, dick, you could just look up dick anyway. Like
It
Sebastian's.
probably looks. Oh, actually, that's the second Marvel dick you've seen.
I know. I just realized that as you were thinking, I was like, I know exactly what this bitch is thinking because it just dawned on me. I'm like, man, Team Cap is looking great.
Oh.
Team-
All right. Well, I'm just gonna read into that, not ask you any more
Yeah.
questions, and then.
Well then, Team Cap, I know I chose well. You know. Anyway, I'm terrible. But it really, like to be like a horny bitch, it's like, yeah, not worth seeing his dick for the 2 seconds for the whole movie because the movie was the dumbest fucking shit ever. They're like these people who meet, and again, nothing against Sebastian Stan because we know the boy can act. Again, you're given this script. I think it's because he was just given something like. Obviously, he wanted to do blah, blah. He obviously wanted to do something not action related. Obviously, nothing superhero related. Something easy, and I get it. That's easy because he also has like that. He has that Pam and Tommy Lee thing coming out soon, but he's under like makeup and shit, so that's work because he also had to learn how to drum. This is like he just had to be a pretty boy, which I mean, is that hard for him? You know.
Show dick. Like I could just imagine the director saying that. He's just.
Show some dick. Give me that dick. You know, I mean that was me in the crowd. You know. Anyway, so it's like him, like he meets this girl, and then like they're just like horny the entire time. Which I mean, do you whatever? But they just literally like they end up at a beach, and then they wake up and they're like naked, and then like the beach police is like, hey, get out of here. Also, this is not in America, so like nudity isn't that frowned upon, but still pretty frowned upon, you know. And then they're just like going to places, and they're like, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. It's just like it's just dumb. There was like no point to it besides literally to just see Sebastian Stan's dick, like and like some ass, you know? Because it was just like, hey, here you guys are, and it's like they're supposed to be like so fucking horny for one another, and like, well, it's just like, no, because it's like, again, not Sebastian Stan, his character is so one-dimensional. Like the guy has no personality. Again, the guy, not Sebastian Stan, the guy you playing, you know, is like one-dimensional, kind of boring, and he's just like, oh, you're just a pretty face, you know. If I didn't know that was Sebastian Stan, it was just like it's like a attractive guy, but again, like you said, there's more than one guy in New York, you know. You're like, whatever, you know. And then the girl was just kind of like some bitch, you know. And then she was also like very one dimensional, and the only thing they had in common was the horn, you know. And it was just like, okay. And it was really just them like I forgot how long this movie was. I think it was too long. It was just like it's just watching them, blah blah blah. And then towards the end, finally, it's like, oh look, dick reveal. Okay, that was it. And oh, okay, well, the rest of this movie I have to watch. It was just there's just no point. And the only reason why a lot of us end up watching it is because we heard that there was going to be some full frontal Sebastian Stan dick. And yeah, I admit it, I watched it for that, and then now I'm like, well, that was not worth it. I watched it for you! I watched it so the rest of you didn't have to, so you just have to Google it instead. You know? It was but yeah, then there was the second Space Jam movie, and I feel like the second Space Jam movie, like now thinking about it, is like the precursor to the Matrix movie. Because this was also super meta.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of cartoon characters.
Like, Don Cheadle's character in the movie is called Algorithm. Giving you a moment. Like. Yep.
Go on.
Yep. It hurts, right? It hurts, doesn't it? It hurts. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to hear it throughout the entire movie. He's like, I'm Algorithm. I'm like, shit. It's so bad. Like, God, it's like the movie is like it shows you bad parenting first of all because it's like LeBron and his kids, and I'm not saying actual LeBron is a bad parent. I'm saying movie LeBron. So movie LeBron is like, come on, kids, because I'm a basketball star. You will play basketball too. It's like, that's not, kids don't want to follow that footstep because you're literally LeBron. Like, how, oh, me, child LeBron, gonna get better than that? Like, people are literally gonna compare you to your dad. It's like being the child of a really good sushi chef. No matter what you make, it's never gonna be as good as your father, you know? Like,
poor Jiro and children.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. This is great, not as good as your dad's. I had to pause that part of the documentary and just go like, yep, you know. The younger son decided to stay and work with dad, so they're like, great, you're taking after your father. Older son decided to have a restaurant. It's good, not as good as your dad. You know, just God. Anyway, yeah. So it's like one of the kids is like, yeah, I'm also gonna be a basketball star. LeBron father, you know, fictional LeBron. But then the other kid is like a nerd. No surprise. He likes to build robots. He has like a streaming setup. He's got like 3 monitors, one of those big hunk of chunk, you know, RGB fucking, you know, gaming PCs and all that stuff. You have that. Obviously your dad bought that for you and he still doesn't get it through his head that you're a fucking like you want to be a fucking like robotics like mechanic shit. Like, okay. First of all, again, bad parenting. And second, it was like, oh, because dad is a famous, you know, basketball star, he always misses when I do a science fair. It's like, oh my god, because at least like with the
It's always late at night.
like, you know, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, because his basketball games are late at night too, honey, because he's. And I remember I was like, when I was talking about this movie, I was like super defending the original one, which the original one shouldn't really be defended because it's just such a silly concept.
It's very silly.
You're launched into Toon World that's also in space, and then Bill Murray shows up, and you have to have a basketball game against
Aliens.
monsters. Yeah. Bill Murray shows up. Bill Murray does not show up in this one. You know? I mean, oh, good. Also, Bill Murray is so old now. Ah! You know? And so, like, like, at least with that one, like, Jordan was like retired because he had done the baseball thing. He's like, I think I'm done, and it kind of it made sense why he like kind of like like met up with his like other basketball peoples. Like, oh, okay, because he's like, oh, I'm old, I'm washed, I'm done. I'm still Jordan. People like me, but here it's like LeBron is still going.
LeBron's at the top.
Yeah, he's there, or like farther than my arms could reach. Like he's literally at his peak right now. So for him to be like in this movie, like not just him in general being in this movie, obviously it's not gonna be detrimental to his fucking career because he's still great at basketball. But just like you can't really empathize with his character because it's like you're the greatest currently. Whereas with like Michael Jordan with Space Jam, you're like, but you're still Michael Jordan because you're a kid. Like, but he's still Michael Jordan. He's still awesome. Why is everyone being an ass? Here it's like you're just like a shit parent, like, and it's terrible. Like, again, fictional LeBron, not real LeBron, fictional LeBron. It's like you're just like a shit parent. You're not paying attention to what your kids like and all that stuff. You want to push your career onto your child as well, and then launched, and it wasn't like he went into Toon World into space. It's like he went into a computer. That's why Don Cheadle is Algae Rhythm, and because it's Warner Brothers, that own Looney Tunes. They were like, well, we're gonna throw every fucking Warner Brothers IP out there. So it was like any random Warner Brothers IP. I think like there was some Harry Potter shit through in there. I suddenly just forgot anything owned by Warner Brothers. There was some superhero stuff.
Whatever like DC, sorry,
yeah, DC.
Whatever Disney doesn't have right now.
Right, pretty much, yeah. Disney or Fox, yeah. So it's like any Warner Bros. IP was thrown out there, like, oh, look at the crowd, it's blah blah blah, it's blah blah blah, and it was like, I was just like, oh my god, this is like, I felt like I was watching like one of the first 3 Transformer movies where it was like product placement, product placement, product placement, product placement, product placement. And I mean, like in the original one, they kind of did that too because Wayne Knight's character was like practically rattling off all the different sponsors that Jordan ever had. But like he also was like comic relief character. But so like it was said in jest in a way, kind of like that scene in Wayne's World where they're like, oh no, what a great delicious beverage, like because they were ragging on it, but this was literally just like boop, 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 boop. I was like, I feel like I was watching pop-up ads. That's what it felt like. I was like, holy shit, You know, I was
I
like,
don't know who owns The Sopranos, but I would love it if there was just like a serious
oh, you know,
adult
probably because this came on to HBO Max because Warner Brothers, so that probably was like in the background. You know,
Khaleesi's there, and it's just like, oh, the non-problematic character whatsoever, Khaleesi and her nephew.
but I think they had a Game of Thrones dragon show up. I think, yeah. Because what else can you show Game of Thrones to? It's a children's movie. You can't be all like titties and shit. Or here's an infected scrotum, that I had to see in that one shot where I asked, why was that in my face? And everyone's like, you're such a prude. You can't handle nudity. And like, people fuck. And I'm like, there was a scrote in my dead center in a shot. Shut the fuck up, calling me a
I'm
fucking
glad I
prude.
missed that shot, or at least maybe I blocked it out. I'm not
Oh no, that's ingrained in my brain. Like dick pics I got in my early days of Tumblr, man. Like those things are in my mind forever. God damn it, But anyway, so yeah, it was like every fucking thing, and then it was just like it was just dumb because it was like it didn't feel like there were stakes in that basketball game either. Because whereas the other one was like, oh no, zippity blah blah, whatever the fucking stakes were. I don't know. I was a child. I enjoyed it because I really loved like Tasmanian Devil when I was little. I was like, I love it. I don't know why. Maybe because he was loud and weird and making weird noises. Oh fuck. Like, you know, shit.
accent.
Like, oh well, yeah, you're right. And again, Bill Murray was there because a Ghostbuster was there, and this one was just like, Dad, you can do it. Of course he can. He's LeBron. He's not past his prime. Like there was no stakes in this movie, and then it was an ad the entire time, and then Don Cheadle got his money because bless his heart, He's like, I don't know if they're gonna bring me back for more Marvel movies. Might as well go to Warner Bros for a hot minute to get a check. Like it was just like Jesus Christ. It was just so much. It was just so. It was like again, I wasn't expecting much from it, and it still disappointed me. And I wasn't thinking I would be disappointed because I wasn't expecting it. I was just like, whatever. It's dumb because the original was dumb. But then I was watching it being like, hey. And it was also sad because then like to this day you'll go into like a fucking like Foot Locker or something and they're still trying so hard to sell like Toon Squad shit to people, at full price too. And I'm like, bro, you gotta discount that because ain't nobody touching it, because it's like the current Toon Squad. If you brought the Jordan Toon Squad, yeah, we'll get the Bill Murray again. I'm still bringing up Bill Murray. We'll bring up the Bill Murray jersey, that kind of stuff. But it's the new one. No one cares about it. Sorry, And then the furries were mad that like Lola Bunny was unsexified because
I saw that
because she
people
wasn't
were
in
so
like the
pissed off that
because
yeah,
she wore a full jersey instead of a top and booty shorts, and they're like, why did you not make her sexy anymore? Also, how dare you make the green M&M not a hoe anymore?
even though it was just like the shoes. It was the shoes anyway.
Yeah, and then oh, I have a honorable mention.
Okay.
Not a surprise, but the Snyder cut. Did you watch any of that? Did you watch the original thing?
I did not have 3 hours to spend.
So I don't know why I'm still keeping the book open like it's gonna tell me anything. So it's better than the other one, but also if you had to take 4 hours to show me better, no. Like it's not. Because it's like, okay, I see where you're going with this. Because it's like, if you watch my review, so when I did my review is that I literally every hour I stopped it and then I talked about what happened in that hour. And you saw it where like the first hour I'm like, it's not bad. Okay, we're bringing back this stuff that we previously saw. This Joss Whedon stuff was cut out. That's good because it was very jarring because the lighting was different and the composition of the shots were different. Okay, fine. Okay, first hour I was like, okay. Second hour, that's usually a whole movie already. I'm like, all right, we haven't gotten to the point. We're 2 hours in. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I know I have 2 more hours, but we still haven't things haven't begun yet. Okay. Hour 3. I'm like, so they put in the cyborg story that they took out from the one. This could have been like the cyborg story. Deadass could have been its own, like could have been like a separate short. Like I mentioned that in my review, I said it could have been its own like 45-minute short. Because remember, um, when Marvel used to do those one shots, you know, they were like 20 minutes long or whatever, kind of one
Yeah.
shots. They could have done that. They could have done like a one shot, like a 45-minute, 20-minute thing, a quick background about Cyborg. If they weren't too sure about making a whole movie, obviously I wasn't thinking of a series, like not even like a 6-episode series, but like a quick thing so you understood. Because like most people, obviously, duh, they know about Batman. The Flash is kind of Captain Obvious, and we knew there was going to be a movie about the Flash. Wonder Woman, she already has her thing. um Aquaman also has his own movie, so it's like, okay, we're good. So if you wanted to do like a thing to explain Cyborg more, you know, they could have done a quick offshoot thing. But it's just like now, after it was taken out and then kind of put back in, his story felt so shoehorned in, because it was like, it's like you're kind of stopping the whole, well, Superman's dead. We need to revive. Like, how do we revive Superman? The boxes and the thing, and we're all gonna die. Anyway, BT Dub. So, Cyborg is entering the building, find his dad. And it was like that. It was just like, so like the story is like, oh, is it? Huh? But then it's like, all right, so he you know, he was a football star. We all know that. And then so he's then like, um you know, like, okay, cool. It's like if in the Two Towers of Lord of the Rings, if when Peter Jackson was talking about like editing between the like the action and then the Treebeard stuff, if like it was like action and then like way too long of a scene of with Treebeard instead of like a good amount of time where they cut in between, because you know he made sure to intercut it because that's good storytelling and all that stuff, you know, because reading obviously is different from watching a movie. And it's like if they did that, if like literally you're like, but they're fighting, what's going on, and you just have to sit there and listen to a tree talk to two short people, and you're like, okay, yeah, but I kind of want to know what's going on with the battle that's actually happening. Okay, I know the trees are upset, you know, like if it wasn't like intercut correctly, because it wasn't. It felt like it was too long. It was just like, throw that in there, okay. But then they would cut to like whatever we kind of knew, and we're like, all right, all right. Right, fuck, well, we've gone too far. Shovel, cyborg, cyborg. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, yeah. And like for me, as someone who knows Cyborg's backstory, I'm like, I know, none of this is new. I know what else is happening. And like I was kind of like, I know why this was cut out, because it wasn't furthering, like it was telling more of a backstory, but it wasn't like furthering the storyline kind of thing. It was one of the things that they really should not have put back in. Which again, I understand why. Blah, blah, blah. And then literally like in my review, you can see as the hours progress, like as I was like first hour, second hour, by the time I got to the end, the fourth hour, I was like a defeated person. I was like my tone was different. Literally first hour, you know, all right, da 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 da. By the time I hit the fourth hour, I was like, that took 4 hours to tell me this? You took 4 hours to tell me something you took less previously? And I was like, yeah, some of the stuff they added back in, like it looks nice and all that stuff, but it was just like, so it technically is better than the previous one, but like I think the previous one I gave it 2.5 stars or something, and this one I just gave like 3. Like it's only just slightly better. It wasn't like a Suicide Squad versus the Suicide Squad, like holy shit, kind of like yeah, you know. It was like a, oh, hey, I
Did
guess.
did the Snyder Cut make significantly more money or anything?
It wasn't theatrically released. It was only on HBO Max.
Uh,
I can't imagine if they released that. No, I'm sorry, dude. 4 hours for that? No, because it wasn't Endgame. Endgame didn't feel like 3 fucking hours.
yeah.
Fucking Return of the King doesn't feel 3.5 to 4 hours. This movie felt like 4 hours. Like, it felt more than 4 hours. It's like I said, I was 2 hours in being like, cool, I'm 2 hours in, and we haven't gotten started with the story yet. We're still introducing everyone 2 hours in!
So you don't think like not watching the original version of it would have so because you watched the original version, you still think that even if you had gone in blind to the Snyder cut, it would have been a long day.
It just, yeah. Yeah. It's just, it really was not worth it, you know? Like, for me, it's like, I hope the fanboys are happy, because I even said that in my review. Like, I hope you're happy, you got your Snyder cut. It's not good. I'm sorry. You know? And I'm not just saying that just to hate on Zack Snyder. I'm not just saying that to, like, shit on DC. It's like, it's not good. What you had originally wasn't good, so to kind of try to improve it was not helping. It
Yeah.
needed, like, it wasn't like reshoots or something. What it needed was like rewrites more than anything, because things were shot fine to a degree, you know. It just needed better writing.
Hmm.
But yes, that was the worst films of 2021.
Those were bad.
Those were really bad.
Yeah.
I was actually worried that the worst list was gonna be like so long that I would have to cut it, you know, to like get to the core. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. Yep.
Yeah,
And like,